Rotted. What's this guy talking about? That's jokes. Yo, what's up? Why, Rohan? Rohan. This guy loves using my governments, bro. This guy's using my governments. Yo, what's up? Use chopstick. That's jokes. Rose, what's up? Who else is on here? John, what's good? Kevin, Sally. He said I'm representing America. That's jokes. Yo, what time is it? Actually, no, it shouldn't be that late. It's probably like 12 in America or something like that. No, obviously it depends on where in America, but yeah. Nine a.m. in California. Damn. Are we really that much ahead? Damn. Okay, yeah, 12 in Texas. 12:30. Alright, fair. Fair's midday for all you Americans, apart from Californians, still morning. Over here it's 5:39, so yeah. Yo, what's up? This guy, weren't you on Alex's live stream? This guy's active. Active as hell. 12 a.m. in Indonesia, that's crazy. That is actually quite crazy. Khadija, what's up? I haven't actually live streamed for a while. I just realised I've not been, you know, doing what I normally do. He was like, you got more viewers than him. Don't worry, one day Alec is gonna grow. His channel's gonna grow. If you guys don't know him, I'll type it here. Everyone subscribe to Alec's channel. Alec is the GOAT. What do you say? I'm American, big fan. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Do you guys want to know something really funny? So every time I check my analytics, it says that 80% of my viewers are American. So yeah. Almost everyone that watches me is American, essentially. Which is quite weird, because from the way I talk, I feel like it's difficult for Americans to understand what I say. Like, we have just different slang. I feel like once I start using slang, like, Americans are just like, what is this guy talking about? Can't wait for the Cultive video coming out soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. This guy said, holla, yo, what's up? He was like, saw you in Alex stream. Remember when I got roasted? That was jokes. That guy was... Okay, yeah, so basically, let me explain the story because you guys don't know what I'm talking about. So this guy, Sam Norris, who just commented, we were in Alex's live stream, the guy who I just said subscribe to his channel. And then he asked, like, we were talking about fashion, and then he asked Alec, it was something about homosexuality. He was like, do you think homosexuality is a sin or something like that? And we were like, bro, chill. Like, we're talking about fashion. Like, why do you make it so serious? And then he just got mad and then started fighting everyone in the live stream. I was like, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Clearly very angry. Good morning, fam. Is it even morning there? Nah, it's almost 6 p.m. here. It's like evening. It's like evening time, boy. He was like, do you bun? No, I don't smoke weed, bro. What was his problem? Yo, that was so funny. I can't even lie. That was hilarious. Been watching you a lot lately from Czech Republic. Oh, Shout out to the Czech Republic. Czech boys. What do I know about the Czech Republic? I know. Actually, no. I have a friend. So I was on this basketball team once, and someone on the team was from Prague. I think Prague is in the Czech Republic. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. And he was telling me how, like, in the Czech Republic, they like beer. And, like, beer in the Czech Republic is, like, advanced compared to here. Live stream. Do you wanna hop in?
For a bit, I need to finish. I'm almost done. And I want to
What,
shoot
the
it
Yunnan
before.
thing?
Yeah, and I want to shoot it before. Obviously, it gets a bit dark still. Wait, you watch it yourself, or is it for the comments?
No, the comments. Do you wanna hop in?
Yeah. Wait, do you have Where's the mic though? The mic's in your earphones.
No, I'm live streaming off my phone.
Okay.
So yeah, camera's there, bro. Oh my god. I was like, Alec checking out those Asians. Yeah, Alec was checking out the Asians. Boy, about to buy my first real jewelry. 170 silver chain. Sanj, oh my god, this guy is roasting me again. He's like,
I was on a basketball
team. Okay, mate.
Wait, have you told Sanj the story yet about
What story?
like, just like the L of not going to America?
What L?
With basketball.
Oh, no, you can tell the story.
I don't even want to tell the story.
You can tell the story.
No, bro, tell it in person. It's too long.
You can
But
go
it's
for it,
funny.
because other
It's
people
so
watching the live
funny.
stream don't know about the story, so go for it.
Basically, wait,
You
where's
know
the
they
camera?
can't see
Where's
you,
the
have to
camera?
come into the
I'll
frame,
come in.
bro.
Yeah, but Bossman, obviously there's no chair still, so let me see what I
But
can do.
wait, what are the comments saying? Thanks for putting me on to Stefan Cook. Yeah, Stefan Cook is really sick. Xander Zhao's sick too.
Is
I've
your
been
camera?
sleeping on London Fashion
Is
Week.
your
No, here.
laptop?
Xander
Oh,
Zhao's
back.
London Fashion Week. Only been watching the Paris shows. Yeah, London Fashion. Wait, hold on. Let me tilt the camera. London Fashion is sick. It's so slept on. I don't get it. Like, Martine Rose, Grace Wells, Bonner, Kiko, Kostadinov, Stefan Cook. Everyone that's, like, joined with Fashion East, Craig Green, all those brands. But yeah, go on. Tell the story.
Bro.
He has a story to tell.
Right, so basically, like, obviously, back in the day.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn the camera to you a bit more.
Back in the day, big man here used to be a baller, obviously. He was an up and coming LeBron James, an up and coming.
I wouldn't call myself a LeBron James.
And an
That's a
up
bit
and
too
coming
far.
Steph Curry. And like, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a scholarship or something.
Yeah, it was a scholarship, yeah.
Yeah. So my man had a scholarship to go and play basketball in America. So, but obviously, African parents, they just weren't, they weren't really feeling it. So, basically, like, his parents just didn't let him go.
Yeah, they didn't let me go to America, and I had a scholarship to play basketball in America. They were like, "Oh, we want you to focus on your studies." It's unfortunate.
Then, like,
Let's not say I'll be in the NBA, because that's a lie. I know how hard it is to go to the NBA, but I would be a pro basketball player for sure.
But what's funny is like when we bring it up now, your mum just denies.
Yeah, every time I bring it up now, my parents just deny it.
They just deny it, but I just remember when it was happening.
So yeah, I was
So
a
funny.
real hooper at some point. Now I can't play though. I'm terrible. I turned into a fashion boy after I gave up my basketball hopes and dreams.
So I turned into a fashion boy, a flower boy, in fact, an Andy boy. What am I saying?
And Andy boys. San said, "Mumsy, shut that down." One time. That's facts. That's
It
facts.
really be like that.
That's facts. Anyone who has African parents or Asian parents knows the struggle. You have to study science or medicine or something,
Or
and if
like
you don't,
law.
you're a failure. Yeah, you're shame. You have brought shame to the family. Shameful.
So long.
Wait, what are the comments saying? Love you, Sanj. You always give me fashion knowledge. Everyone just loves Sanj.
Yeah,
Is
obviously.
Vivian Westwood jewelry a good cop? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Viv jewelry.
I prefer the old one.
It's quite popular though, isn't it?
older
Like,
Viv
it's
jewelry,
trendy
that's
to have that. You know
yeah.
the Vivian
Yeah,
Westwood with the, yeah. That's really trendy.
Bro, every influencer has that. I won't lie. It's hard though. I would get it, to be fair. Like, if I
Yeah.
were given it for free, I wouldn't sell it.
Then African parents stay wildin'. That's facts. That is so. That's
Yeah, it's
actually
like
so funny.
I'm 18, And like 2 days ago, we asked my mum if I'm allowed to have a girlfriend, and she just said no.
Yeah.
She was like, "Not till you're 21." I was like, "Rather."
Oh my god, the struggles, the struggles. One day we should just make a video. I'm like,
Yeah, honestly,
be growing up in an
actually
African
so much
household,
peak
bro.
stuff has happened. So much peak stuff has happened. Like,
What do you think about Meet the Guys? They've been blowing up lately. Do you know who that is? I don't know who that is. Wait, hold on. We can search. Meet the Guys. I have no idea who those guys are, but what? I just can't find them.
is it a genre of like video?
Yeah, I
or
have
is it,
no idea
maybe it's
what
a
he's
genre
talking
of
about.
video.
Maybe it's a brand. I don't know, man. I don't know. Never heard of it though. Nigerian and South African here. I felt the struggle. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sticky one still. Do a who's
Okay, so you said
video.
it's a brand. All right, let's check it out now. Where's it from? Because I've never heard of it. Meet the Guys. USA. So it's an American brand.
Oh, there are so many American brands.
Fair enough. Interesting.
This is so American.
Very American.
This is so
We don't
American.
mean that in a bad way, by the way,
Yeah.
but like very, yeah. Americans just like distressed, like all their brands have like distressed stuff. A lot of
Oversized,
punk references.
baggy.
That's like how American fashion looks these days.
Like when I think of American fashion, I just think of Bloody
Yeah.
O. He's like the far extreme, the far right of American fashion.
Wait, do a Who is Kim Jones video. That's a good idea, actually. I'll write that down. Who is Kimmy?
Mr. Kim Jones.
Mr. Kim Jones. I think Kim Jones is part of Fashionista as well, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on
I
that.
don't know. I don't.
He said, "Hold tight, man. Like Fashion Archive. I'm working on my London slang." Don't. If it doesn't sound right, don't try it because
Otherwise you're gonna
it's
end up like Drake.
Yeah, you're gonna sound like Drake. Right after Who is Molly Goddard video. Oh my god, this girl is obsessed with Molly Goddard, bro.
Who? Which one?
Obsessed. Margiela girl.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one that was like, oh, do you know about Crowd London? Do you know about
I don't
Ellie
know.
Kong
How
rappers?
does wait? How do you? Let me
I
ask you.
don't
How do you
understand.
know about all these like underground London brands when you're
like,
American?
She was like, what do you think of Shemzy the Pathfinder? I was like, what?
Yeah, she knows Shemzy. She knows about Crowd.
How?
I was like, whoa. Wait, they make denim. I've got 2 pairs and I love them. They remind me of Murder Bravado. All right, fair enough. He was like, it's like Murder Bravado. Aha, okay, no, thanks. You can keep it. That's jokes. That is jokes. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but yeah, they do make some really good stuff. Bro, did you see anything for Hyder Rackham and SS20? No, I haven't, not yet. You should do underrated or underappreciated brands video. That's a good idea.
It's good, but it's also hard because there's like.
Remember, we were talking about this.
bajillion of
Paria
brands.
Farzaneh
Oh yeah.
is a very underground, underappreciated London brand. We definitely. I'm gonna make a video on Paria Farzaneh.
She's gonna
soon.
blow soon.
Yeah.
Like very soon.
She's definitely gonna blow up in the next couple of years. Do you
like
think?
2
Yeah.
years, 2-3 years.
I haven't even known about her for that long because the first time I heard of her was the Converse Hotel.
Oh, One Star Hotel.
Yeah, when she had that
fair.
collab with Converse, that was literally the first time.
I've been with her for a minute now, maybe.
But then you
late
know people that know her
2017.
personally though, so it's
I
different.
guess.
I'm a bit more of an outsider. I don't exactly remember. I followed Diba and then Shemzy and Tom Austin. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Do a series on underground and underrated brands. Yeah, I might do that. Good idea.
Yeah, it would be better as a series than one video because it's just like not possible to put all of them in one video. Especially because like.
Don't worry, guys. I'm writing down all your ideas here. So, yeah, if you've got ideas, send them my way. She's like, who's gonna blow soon? Oh, Paria Farzaneh. Let me type her in the thingy. Are you good with American memes? What type of memes? Are we talking like fashion memes?
Fashion memes are funny.
Fashion
I won't
memes are
lie.
hilarious, bro.
Fashion memes are funny.
There's a couple of Instagram accounts. I'm trying to remember what they're called. There's Dick Owens online.
Yeah, there's Dick Owens. There's a few. They're all so funny though.
That's jokes. How do you think the world of fashion will be shaped in 5 to 10 years time? Just more like what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like how people are like attacking gender norms in fashion. I feel like in 5 to 10 years, yeah, everything will come together. There'll be like no distinct menswear, women's wear, which I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'm not bothered by that, to be honest.
No, I'm bothered, but it is good to kind of have some differentiating factors just for the sake of like creativity.
No, but I think it'll be even if it's just one collection, there'll be pieces out obviously for men and pieces out more obviously for women. But you can wear either if like that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. What Veta memes? Yeah. Raf Stevens. Wait, I wear Yoji, so I'm better than you. I've never seen that. What? I wear Yoji.
No, but that's what Yoji boys feel, to be fair.
I wear Yoji. That's hilarious. Is that actually a thing? There's no way, or is she just saying like what people say?
Just saying what people
yeah, that's
say.
probably a meme.
But Rick boys say that a lot. Rick boys think.
What is a meme? There's like different types of people though. These days, there's like the Rick Owens boys, and they have a distinct look. Like
So
oh my god, we were saying this the other day. We were saying there's like levels to like Rick Owens boys. So first they start off wearing Ramones, you know,
and they have to be the black Ramones. They have to be the black.
They have to be the black and white Ramones, and then. What do we say they upgrade
so
to?
So if you're edgy, you get the white Ramones.
Yeah, if you're edgier, if you're a bit of a higher tier, then you get the white Ramones, and then
if you're a few levels up, you upgrade into like Gio Vasquez.
Then you get Dios, and then after that, you just start buying Rick Mainline, like actual clothing.
No, the best is when people like. They'll be like, "What did you wear today in High Fashion Talk?" And their socks are Rick, and I'm like, "Bro, their socks are Rick, or their socks are Yoji Poham or whatever," and I'm like, "Rotted."
So what does this guy say? Karen took the kids. No, Karen took the Ricks. Oh my days. Diet Prado, is that a meme page? Oh my god, these guys. These guys. He was like, "Show your recent pickups, bro. My room is quite far from here." Maybe in a vid. We'll make a vid. Should we make a recent pickups vid?
Sure. At the weekend though, cause
we'll do that. We'll do that.
Chuck in some golf Lacoste.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Where's Triple S once? Yeah, I'm into high fashion. That's jokes. Vintage Yoji is so nice. Made use of colours a lot more. Also, if you were a designer, what would you reference? If I was a designer, I'd reference my culture, as in being Nigerian.
Nigeria.
And I lived in Nigeria for like 6 years, so I'm very invested in Nigerian culture. I'll be like a Paria Fazane, like, you know, she references being Iranian and stuff, yeah.
What would I do?
What would you do if you're a designer?
I'd probably reference like boarding school.
I said boarding school.
But like, how
are you going to do that?
Boarding school I went to, bro, like tweed, lots of tweed.
Oh, okay, I see that.
Like, exaggerated.
Yeah.
What
these guys saying? Do you feel like menswear lacks compared to women's wear? As in, there's not as many varying pieces for men to wear as opposed to women's wear.
Yeah, but that's because that's
the way we said that, didn't we? We literally said that yesterday. So, obviously, with women's wear, there's so like, first of all, everything that's menswear, women can wear just by default.
Yeah.
Because women can wear like blazers, jackets, tops, like trousers, like loafers, whatever we wear, and then they have stuff they can wear as well, like skirts, dresses. So there's just like more for women to do in terms of women's wear.
Like there's like 10 variations of like skirts for women.
Yeah.
10 variations of tops, because then you have stuff like crop tops as well as normal tops, and like I don't know. I mean, you can wear a crop top if you want as a guy, but like
I wouldn't wear a crop top. You know how like I understand like if I was small and skinny, if I wore a crop top, it wouldn't look stupid. But because I'm like big and tall, he was just gonna be like, "What the hell is this guy wearing? What is he wearing?" He was like, Wait, stop hating on my geos. These kids buy Rick socks that say the word die on them, then swear they're depressed. She said, please start a brand. I can't, I'm so sorry, but I can't start a brand. I have respect for actual fashion design. So if I'm going to start a brand, I have to have enough skills, which I don't right now. So yeah.
Would it have colour? Or
Not
would
really.
It all be
Nah.
black?
It'll be the Andy color palette completely. White, grey, navy, maybe obviously black, grey. Well, I said grey, khaki. That's it.
Wait, khaki's that deep green colour, right? I always get confused.
Like
yeah,
dark greenish. So yeah, I won't start a brand anytime soon. I bought Ramones this morning, $3 in my account. Hey, do it for the drip. Do it for the
It's called
drip.
going broke for the vision. Going broke for the vision.
Wakanda reference, maybe.
I don't know.
Grey would make some good memes. Oh yeah, that's really true.
No,
Actually.
they do.
Yeah.
Grail's funny. No, it's in the comment section. That's where Grail shine. People will be like, these fits are trash. And then Grail would go on that person's page and start roasting their fits. It's so funny.
He say, what's up, bro? You stay dropping a good knowledge. Thanks for the feedback. Is your friend the guy who just had his first fashion show? Congrats to him, and also I really like your channel and your content. Keep the good work. Because you make a video about Jill Sander. No, you're not. That's Yaki, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the person who had the brand. But yeah, thanks a lot for the feedback. As for Jill Sander, yeah, I do need to make a video on Jill Sander. I don't know. I was saying this the other day. For example, okay, so people who claim they're into like archive fashion, they only talk about certain brands like Com. So we said they talk about Comme des Garçons, Archive, Helmut Lang. They talk about Helmut Lang a lot.
Archive, Helmut Lang.
They talk about Ras Simmons.
Always.
They talk about what's another very
like Archive.
Like boys. Archive Boysy brand.
Undercover.
Yeah, Undercover.
Undercover.
And they forget some really like what's the word I'm trying to use? Some really good brands around that time frame, like Hussein Chalayan or Jill Sander.
I've never heard anyone say like, "Yo, I'm gonna go and pick up some archive like Margiela."
Well,
like, never.
No, they talk about Margiela. They definitely talk about Margiela.
Archive boys.
Archive boys do talk
really?
about Margiela.
I've never heard archive boys talk about Margiela.
They do.
Really?
They do.
What kind of pieces they pick up?
Just some dead sweater. You try to over conceptualize it. That's just how it goes. Yeah, Jill Sander, I definitely need to make a video on her because people miss her out a lot. Same thing as Hussein Chalayan. There's a few of those designers that got lost between the cracks. You gotta start wearing more colour, bro, and wear more menswear, tailor button downs and derbies for the win. Yeah, possibly. It's too hot for that right now, though.
All I can, so hot.
Like, look what I'm wearing now. All I can wear is like t-shirts and I'm sweating.
Like 100.
Maybe in the winter. Opinion on running. Running, it's not really. I can't really have an opinion. It's just high quality basic stuff, which I'm sure if I talk to him about it, he would agree. Not really an opinion on it. It's not like conceptual, so. All for the drip. Good thing my fridge is semi-full. What do you reckon streetwear will look like in 5 years' time? What do you think? I think it will look the same.
I don't even know what streetwear is anymore.
Yeah, streetwear is a bit confusing as a term because high-end fashion / luxury fashion and streetwear, it's kind of one right now.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna keep getting closer and closer.
She said, well, if you were to go to school and study fashion design, would you be a couturier? Most definitely not. I just don't really care about couture. Not like, I get it, the skill that goes into it, obviously it's amazing clothing, but just me personally, it doesn't, I'm not that highly invested in couture in the first place, so. Would you consider yourself a fashion intellectual? Hell no. Hell no. No,
because intellectuals are those guys who they'll look at a piece and without even hearing anything about it, they can just tell you how that.
I'm not on that level yet. I'm not naive enough to call myself terms like fashion intellectual. I'm just a fashion enthusiast who talks about the brands I like on YouTube. That's as far as it goes. Also, got to point out the videos breaking down shoes like A Cold War the best. I started getting into fashion. Those videos are super helpful.
Like,
I'm
what
glad I
what
could be of
videos?
some assistance. Like I was talking about I reviewed A Cold War, the Spring Summer 20
Oh.
show, and I was talking about the footwear, like the Converse collab and the
Oh,
loafers. And, yeah.
I for some reason I thought Vomeros, and I was like, what?
Oh no.
Because you know how the Vomeros break down over time.
Yeah.
That's like what they're supposed to do. So I just got confused.
Thoughts on Dr. Martens? They're quite sick. I used to have Dr. Martens actually, but they were so uncomfortable. I just sold them.
No, you
So-
have to wear them for like 10 years.
Yeah, I need
for them
to. I
be
didn't wait.
comfortable.
I didn't wait to break them in.
Now I'm gonna buy a used pair.
Yeah.
It's the only shoe, one of very few shoes.
Yeah.
I'd just buy a used pair. It's not worth the stress. Getting blisters.
Make a video on Celine. Yeah, I actually want to make a video on Adi Saman's last collection because I really liked it. He was like, Margiela collectors mostly go towards post heron chic line 10 and capsule replicas. Yeah, very what's the word? Trendy archive pickups.
This guy mentioned number 9.
Yeah, there aren't that many fashion review YouTubers like yourself in London. How comes?
Slapped on.
I don't know. You know.
They slapped on.
I don't know. I think people just don't really care about high-end fashion like that. Like, we need to realize this is still a tiny niche. So, I think maybe that's why. There's, like, you don't need to watch reviewers just based in London, though. There's, like, Court Lamode, who, I don't know where he's from. I think New York or something. Then there's a few here and there. There's, who else reviews shows? Bliss Foster. Let me type all these down so you guys can subscribe to these channels. So, Bliss Foster,
Heart Lamode.
Heart Lamode, Heart Lamode, Hort Lamode. Who else did I say? Bless me, Hort. I think that's it. That's all I can think of for now. Streetwear is a disgrace.
Bruh.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
Okay. He was like, you forgot Archive Boys. Number 9.
I told you.
Yeah,
man.
that's a very Archive Boysy
So
brand.
Archive Boys.
He's like, streetwear is great, fuck out of here, just a creative low right now. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
shows, not shoes. Okay, fair enough. Do you both have any passions besides fashion? You can go first. What are your passions, mate?
Yo, if
Go on,
fashion,
mate.
if fashion didn't exist, I would just love to be a food connoisseur. You know, no.
What, like
They
a food tester?
Yeah. So they go to you literally get invited to like 6-star restaurants. You eat the food. If you don't like it, you just spit it out.
Yeah.
Then you like drink water. You're treated like a king, and then they pay you like 50 grand on top of all.
But
of
how
that.
do you get to
It's
that
just
point
impossible. It's just
where
impossible.
you get
It's just impossible.
That's the thing.
But like, if I could be anything, that's definitely what
Yeah.
I'd be.
I would definitely still be a basketball guy. Yeah, if I didn't get into fashion, I'd still like be trying to chase this basketball career that doesn't exist.
Oh, that's so peak. That said R.I.P. his basketball.
R.I.P.
career.
my basketball career. It was good while it lasted. It's just subcultures within fashion. I don't know if streetwear is a usable term anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because streetwear ties in so much to luxury fashion at this point. I just
Yeah.
don't really.
I don't even like specify them anymore.
Autocorrect, not to use. Let's see. With all due respect, guys, this is the stupidest definition of intellectual ever. If you study the subject and acknowledge your ever-growing ignorance, the more you learn, you are an intellectual. Are you? Are you? Okay, but see, I read up about fashion, but I don't study fashion. So I feel like I don't have the, what's the word? I don't have the right to be calling myself fashion intellectual and fashion this when I don't even study it.
I would
Like,
just
academically,
even
so-
if I studied that, I probably still just wouldn't call myself.
Yeah, even if I studied fashion, I still wouldn't call myself a fashion
just
intellectual. I don't know. I feel like for you to call yourself a fashion intellectual, you really have to know almost everything. Like
Yeah.
you have to be like fashion professor level,
Yeah.
like CSM lecturer.
for like
type.
10+ years.
I don't know, man. I've got too much respect for the industry. Get some Dior Navigator boots. That's just so, what's the word? Gimmicky though. Like everyone's getting Dior Navigators. I like them though, but there's other stuff I'd buy before then. What designer do you reckon should perhaps venture into creative directing a major fashion house? Based on their skill and sense of innovation. Craig Green. Craig Green for sure.
Does he only run his own? Does he only run Craig Green?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a creative director for any major brand yet. He's just
So
Craig
if you
Green.
had to put him at one,
Obviously,
what
he's
house
had
would you put him at?
collaborations with like Moncler and stuff like that. But
What
yeah,
house would you put him at if you had to?
what house do I put Craig Green at? Margiela, because Craig Green is really good with deconstruction, and that's like Margiela's thing.
Man said scrap John.
Yeah,
Galliano.
get rid of John Galliano. Get rid of him. Chuck John Galliano out the window and put Craig Green there.
Bruh.
He said, this man really shouted out Hortland mode. Why? See, look, yeah, there's this misconception that I hate Hortland mode. I don't know why. People just like to put other YouTubers against each other. So I don't agree with all of Hortland mode's opinions, which is fine because we are not robots. We have different opinions on fashion. However, he knows what he's talking about, and he does his research. So if you want to learn about fashion, he's good to watch. Doesn't mean I agree with all his takes, but he's definitely still good to watch. He was like, wait, Khadija, have you been to Machine A? Oh, yes. She was asking me if I've been to Machine A.
Have we been to Machine A?
I live in London. Like,
I'm not gonna flex my friends and family at Machine A.
of course I've been to Machine A. Like, he's friends and family with Machine A, so, you know, I'm just I'm a mere mortal.
No, I almost ended up working there for like 3 months, but I didn't in the end. Like,
yeah, you were going to intern at Machine A, weren't you? Yeah. Yo, bro, I love your content. They teach me a lot. Thanks a lot. He was like, nope, but I just know this girl who works there. Not personally, just I follow her. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
It could be the really peng one.
What the...
What's
I
her
don't know who you're
at?
talking
What's
about.
her at?
Post her at down. We're trying to
Yeah.
figure out if it's the really attractive person that works there. It's across from Palace of all places. Yeah. Machine A, for guys who are not from London, is a high-end fashion store. They have some ties with Show Studio. I'm not sure if Show Studio actually owns it.
They don't. They don't own it.
But yeah, it's literally on the same road as Supreme and Palace, which is so ironic. Because like they stock Margiela and like Stefan Cook and stuff like that. And then just across the roads, like literally it's Supreme and Palace, mate.
Even Pato was pretty close as well.
It's like every time I hear Hortland mode, the first thing I think about is tea.
Yeah, fair.
I think that's more of an American thing though. Like in the UK, we don't really use those terms. Like those like tea.
We don't, but there are YouTubers that very much do.
I think that's more of like a beauty community thing, like tea,
is.
spill the tea, stuff like that.
Sis.
Yeah, sis. So if I wanted to get a fashion internship in London, how would I go about it? Especially if I'm self-taught to no formal training.
To be honest, literally.
I keep telling people because remember how I got my internship with Deploy, for example.
How did you get that? I swear that was.
Bro, you know. Remember I was doing that job when I was working.
I
was moving stuff to Paris. Yeah. So quick, I've explained this story so many times, but quick thing. All my internships I've ever gotten in fashion, none of them I applied for. So I was like, most of them I was just like doing a job, and then I'll like meet someone from the job, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for an intern," and then it kind of works that way.
But
All
like,
by chance, all by luck.
Lots of brands or designers, quite regularly on their Instagrams, will literally be on their story like looking for an intern for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Have to be fairly flexible.
That's like Martine Rose on her Instagram story. No, on an Instagram post actually, put that she was looking for interns.
Yeah, literally. And it's lots of designers and brands ask around the same time of year.
Yeah.
So you can literally apply to all of them at once and you'll probably get one.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest.
I heard from someone though, not that I've applied for an internship, but apparently if you send them something through the mail, they will consider you over someone who sends an email because everyone sends an email. So if you go through the extra stress of like putting a really nicely written letter in a mail and something like that, like a pack of Haribos or something, apparently you almost like always get the role. It's crazy.
That's crazy, actually.
So if I ever do apply for something, that's what I would do personally. Because he said, you don't need to study it formally. Calling yourself anything is a waste of time. I've been in the academy for a long time. This idea of intellectual is bullshit. Fairs. Yeah, I just don't like the time. Like, what is an intellectual? Like, why do people feel the need to call themselves fashion intellectuals? I feel like that's just something that people use to like, what's the word? To whet their ego, to boost their ego. He said, "Okay, I'm back. I got distracted." He was like, "Bruh, did you just say get rid of Galliano? Dude is legendary. His haute couture shows are A1." Oh yeah, for sure. I just don't like him as a person, which is what I was gonna say. Get rid of him. But yeah, he's definitely a legend, especially his stuff at Dior. Amazing. John Galliano at Dior can't be matched. Sophia lurking in the live stream, lurking. What does Telfar need to do to take their concepts to the next level in terms of brand equity? I don't know. It's, you know how I look at Telfar? I look at Telfar as like, you know, what are brands that only people in London know? Like Paria Farzaneh, that's one, definitely a brand that only people in London know. Telfar is like
According
one of
to you,
those.
Kiko.
Well, according to me, only people. I feel like Americans haven't caught up to Kiko yet. I feel like a lot of Americans know about the Kiko A6, but it is kind of a hype piece still.
Yeah.
So like they don't know about Kiko's actual work, like what he does, runway, or like the women's wear that he handed over to those CSM designers and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like Telfar is just one of those only Americans know about it, and he needs to focus more on making collections that resonate on more of a wider scale, I think.
But like, I don't know. It's not. It's easier said than done.
Obviously,
I'd say.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
way easier said than done.
Like it's easy for me to just like say that, but like
Yeah.
obviously actually executing it is a different story. Craig Green for Givenchy. Oh my god, that's so needed. Givenchy right now is it's like I don't know what is worse, Burberry or Givenchy.
Givenchy. Easy.
Oh my god, Burberry's quite bad.
Yo, you know what
Burberry
brand
is
someone
terrible.
reminded me just exists? MCM.
Oh my god.
I just
MCM.
forgot that brand existed.
I've never seen anything good come from MCM my whole life. Because like most college professors and lecturers that have a considerable output of quality papers don't waste their time separating whether you're an intellectual or not. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Do you want to be a fashion designer? Nah. I'm seeing how things go. I might study fashion design later on in life, but I'm not too sure about that yet. What if Virgil took up the offer at Versace instead of Louis Vuitton? Do you reckon his reputation would have been thrown out the Do you know what? Virgil collections at LV aren't that bad. They're not that bad. It's just because it's Virgil, and because Off-White is so terrible, people just compare LV with Off-White, and they're just not the same thing. Like his stuff at LV is like decent.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking, but it's decent. Like, I'd buy some of the stuff.
The sneakers, I'd buy all the sneakers.
Yeah, I do like some of the sneakers. But yeah, I think it's because it's Virgil. He does still copy some designs, like that LV monogram thing that he did. I can't remember who he copied it from,
What,
but
the vest?
No, there was like a blazer that had like an LV mesh chain design. It was on Diet Prada, and they were saying how he copied some designs, but yeah. It's just because it's Virgil, like,
Yeah,
come on, guys. What he said? Telfar's going to blow up. They recently dressed Sway Lee, and I expect more recognition. All right, fair enough. Now, people in New York know Kiko for sure. Okay, fair enough. It's just, when you say you know Kiko, does that mean you know about him and you know about the A6 collab, or do you actually, like, follow what he does? Like, in terms of his runway shows and stuff like that. Have you been to LNCC in Dalston? No, I haven't actually. Yo, let's add that to the list. LNCC. I haven't been to LNCC ever. I know the founder and creative director, Dan Mitchell, who now lives in Bali, Indonesia, where I'm from. That's quite cool. Why don't you rate Burberry? Because Burberry is overhyped. And the reason why Burberry is overhyped is because Burberry comes with a lot of history. So because of the history, people just give it a pass. Whereas if you actually look at the collections right now, they're horrific. They are absolutely terrible. And I don't say that about a lot of, like, I don't objectively say brands are terrible, but Burberry, Lord have mercy. Like, geez. I'm from the US and been known paria, but I'm Iranian, so that doesn't count. Yeah,
Yeah, to be fair.
it doesn't count, bro.
No, but some people have been on it. I saw a picture of like
Yeah.
Ian Connor wearing Paria in like.
But if you're
2017.
Iranian, like you know how we're Nigerian, so any like
Yeah,
Nigerian
yeah,
brand
fair.
we know.
Fair,
So
fair,
like,
fair.
yeah, I don't think that counts, bro. What's up, Indonesia fam? Bring back McQueen for Givenchy, bruv. McQueen's dead. Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna raise him from the dead.
Sticky.
Lol, so you admit Virgil isn't a bad designer. Damn, the world about to end. Okay, so Virgil, what's the word? Virgil's not a, he's not amazing, and he's not terrible.
They're worse.
The problem I have with Virgil is he has no business being a creative director for Louis Vuitton because he's not good enough for that role. That's where I have a problem. So I'm not saying he's a bad designer. It's just like, imagine having a bad football player that plays football for like Barcelona. It doesn't make sense. Everyone's gonna be like, why does he play football for that team? Like there's let me just put it that way. There's levels, and Virgil isn't good enough to be designing at LV. That being said, though, a lot of people will disagree with me and say, well, who are you to decide who's like worth going to LV or not? But just personally, there's so many designers who would be better suited to the LV role. Just like, you just know LVMH just did that for hype and money and nothing else.
They've been doing a lot of stuff for like
and nothing else. Like
profit.
Like LV is a storied brand. Like LV is literally the height of fashion. That's like the top brand for LVMH. And they just gave it to some hype designer. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
They're making loads of money moves at the moment. Fenty.
So it's not like I hate Virgil or think he's a terrible designer. Not true. I just don't think he's LV level. Virgil's good at marketing. Yeah, exactly. What was the brand you said only people in England would know? Paria, Farzaneh. He said, Aya, stop fronting. First week the sneakers were teased. You was hating on it when we talked about it. Now you like them. I told you so. No, that's not true. No.
Baited you, stop.
Do you know that's not true? Remember when we went to Dover Street Market and they had...
How long ago was this?
This is time ago. I'll remind you, it was a Palace drop. But on the same day, there was the Kiko drop, remember?
Yeah.
And remember how I was saying I like those? So, bro.
Bro, I thought
that
was
like
was talking about LVs still.
No, I think he's talking about the sneakers were teased. He was hating on it. Okay, well, maybe he's talking about LV. I thought he was talking about Kiko.
Because I think I remember you saying
you can get my laptop charger.
Yeah.
Oh, LV. Yeah, I was hating on it, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's true, actually. I hated the LV sneakers at first, but they
so
kind of
sick.
they grew on me. Yeah,
They're so sick. All the high tops are so sick. Good lord.
Vogue runway. Will we ever see another McQueen in 10 years? Hell no. There will never be another McQueen. Just face it. Kiko's good at deconstruction too. Yeah, Kiko is actually really
all the stuff.
well known for deconstruction.
That's another thing Archive boys love. Have you seen Kiko Stussy?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
They eat it up, bro.
Yeah, he blew off the deconstructed Stussy hoodie. Yeah. We have Iris Van Herpen. Yeah, Iris. Who will you have chosen for the LV job? Oof. God damn. There's so... Oh, should we get there? There's so many designers.
So many
Jeez.
designers.
Oh, where do I even start? Lord have mercy. Okay, so LVMH is big. Like, LV is their big brand, so it has to be someone who's like...
Big. Their resume has to be fun.
A big name. Like a really big name. So who are the big names in fashion? Ali Salman? Could he have... I just can't see him at LV though.
No.
I just can't see him at LV. But then, okay, Ali Salman. Who else is a big name? Because I don't want to start mentioning brands that no one
You
like
can't say a
designers that no
small
one knows.
brand. It has to be someone with a resume big enough to like actually, because that's what I think Virgil did have. His resume is quite big.
His resume is big in terms of what though?
So
his resume is Off-White Nike.
Off-White Nike. Then
That's not...
No, wait.
What, IKEA?
Whoa. No, I wasn't even going to say... Oh, yeah, IKEA.
IKEA, like
IKEA.
what?
No, not even in terms of that. In terms of, one, revenue and sales, Off-White. I swear, in terms of that, it's like one of the biggest brands in the world.
Okay, yeah, true. Revenue
Like,
and sales.
One of the biggest brands in the world. Then the name Virgil, even this time 10 years ago, what year is it? 2009. Virgil was already a big name in 2009, and that's before Off-White, before Pyrex, before Off-White Nike. So he has like the stigma. And it still has to be, so it has to be a designer that definitely has the stigma around.
Yeah, but okay, let's think of the big fashion designers though. People like John Galliano, I prefer him at LV to Virgil. Just anyone, not Virgil. An actual qualified designer like Adi Slimane or like even I prefer Phoebe Philo, who doesn't even make menswear, design being the menswear artistic director for LV over Virgil, bro.
Do you care if they've had a background in fashion?
No, I don't. I don't care if you had a background in fashion. It's just design real clothes. I remember we've had this conversation where so many people didn't study fashion design, like Karl Lagerfeld or like Ray Kawakubo or like Raf Simons didn't study fashion design. There's so many of them. However, so I believe you can become a fashion designer without studying fashion design. However, if you don't study fashion design, like you're gonna have to be like McQueen, who was like working at Savile Row for ages. But he did study fashion design after, but like he got really good working in Savile Row. Or you're gonna have to be like Raf Simons, who was directly learning under Walter van Beirendonck. So if you're not going, that's why I just say just study fashion design. Just study fashion design, because how many of us are going to have the opportunity to like work under someone like Walter van Beirendonck or like Ray Kawakubo and stuff like that? To be fair, if you have that opportunity, then you don't need to study fashion design. But otherwise, go study fashion design, mate.
Yoon didn't learn from anyone.
Yeah, but Yoon clothing is not on par with like Yoon Ahn is not on par clothing wise with like actual designers like Adi Slimane and stuff.
No, but I think we can put her in the same bracket as Sam Ross.
No. Yoon Ahn is nowhere near Sam Ross in terms of fashion. No, I don't.
I think her collections are, especially a Cold War collections like 2 years ago.
A Cold War collection 2 years ago were horrific. Yeah, we can.
No. But in terms of for how long, Sam Ross has been making clothes under a Cold War longer than Yoon Ahn has been making clothes
since like Ambush. I think 2015 or 2014.
Yeah, I think it's like 2013.
No, I think it's 2014 or 15. Yeah.
And Yoon's 2015.
Is it?
Well. But
I don't think Ambush is on par with a Cold War yet.
Bro, look at the Ambush Spring 19 collection. That once you look at that, that's why I was like, okay, she's actually.
What does he say? Is there going to be another video about Vetements? all the Vetements fanboys came for me in that video.
Dina Vasilia.
Oh my god, bro! Let's not do that. Are you an what he said? Are you an intellectual? This guy's trolling. Thoughts on the fall winter Cavant collection? I haven't seen it. J.W. Anderson at Louis Vuitton. Yeah, that would be good. Although J.W. Anderson is at Loewe right now, so obviously he's quite busy. I'm the academy. I don't know if I'd actually call myself something like that. I study and teach fashion. Yeah. He definitely knows more about fashion than me, especially when it comes to Margiela. Can Demna Gvasalia progress outside of Balenciaga, or is that house very suited to him? It's suited to him because he's turned it into what he is.
Yeah, that's.
So it'd be very hard for him to go to another brand because he would have to transform it into the meme that he is. And he would be making like t-shirt shirts and like 7-layer parkers and like IKEA bags.
Yeah, remember the 7-layer? I forgot about the 7-layer parker.
And what else has he made that's controversial? Like platform Crocs and all of that rubbish.
Wait, is that the highlighter heels?
The highlighter? No, that was Vetements.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hello, love from Iceland. Yo, what's up? Where in Iceland are you from? I have an Icelandic friend who's from Reykjavik, so I feel like I know a tiny bit about Iceland. Little name drop there. I think J.W. Anderson is best at Loewe, yeah, fairs. Matthew Williams is another good example. Never studied fashion, got rejected from Parsons, yeah. I prefer Elique's way more, like, when we compare it to Off-White. And what's funny is they came up the same way. Yeah, so once again, I don't believe you have to study fashion design. I just feel like if you don't study fashion design, you have to make sure that you go through the right channels to learn what you need to learn. And the problem I have with fashion right now is that the people that don't study fashion design are not people that have respect for fashion design. So they just make crappy t-shirt prints and then call me a fashion designer. I have a fashion brand.
What I will say is, okay, let's say
Like
So-
wait, let me just say, like, if I don't study fashion design and I make a brand, I'm going to like intern for so many brands, work under designers, and make sure I get the skills before I make a brand. I'm not just gonna make some crap brand. But these days, the problem I have with fashion is those who don't study fashion design aren't like Ray Kawakubo, who spent so much time working on their craft, or like Vivienne Westwood, or like Karl Lagerfeld. So they just make some dead ass print tees, and it's just like.
No, to be fair, what I will say is, okay, so obviously at the start of being a designer, everyone's gonna be trash. At the very, very, very start, when you're learning, when you're
Not
still learning.
necessarily.
I don't know.
A lot of people didn't have a bad start.
Your work isn't gonna be as good as the work you're doing when you've blown. Ideally.
Well, yeah, but putting it that way, I don't think anyone should be starting from dead prints and calling themselves a fashion designer.
Well, I just think if you're
I don't feel like
making
that's
dead prints,
a starting point.
if
that
you're
anyone
making
should
dead
be at.
prints and you blow, you're gonna keep making dead prints because that's what you've blown off.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
The problem I have is the terminology people use. So you can make disgusting, terrible printed shirts, which is fine, do you? But when you're calling yourself a fashion designer, I have a problem.
But
with
then, what else are you gonna
It's
call
like, what-
yourself?
but what are you
to be fair,
designing?
What else are you gonna call yourself?
But
By that
what-
point,
but what
when
are
you
you
have a
designing?
whole off-white under your belt, what are you supposed to call yourself?
But it's like if you make just t-shirts, what are you designing? Like,
No,
what
I
are
know-
you designing?
No,
Anyone
I
can make
understand what you
t-shirts,
mean,
bro.
but then I just don't really see what else they're supposed to call themselves.
Just say I make t-shirts.
If you have a whole off-white under your belt, you're supposed to be saying something
No,
like,
I'm not talking about Virgil Abloh. I'm not talking about Virgil. I'm talking about like
Yeah, but
Instagram
I'm
brands.
talking about. Oh no, but those people just don't count, obviously, because they're just not designers. They're just not designers. I'm talking about like Virgil. He literally blew off like crappy
Pyrex.
prints. Pyrex.
Well,
which is just
there we
prints.
go. Anyone that blows off Pyrex becomes like Virgil.
So of course, you're gonna
There
end up
we
with
go.
an off-white, but
Yeah.
then you're not gonna you can't call yourself anything other than a designer. Like when you have a whole off-white under your belt, what are you supposed to say?
Yeah,
I
no.
make clothes.
Virgil is a fashion designer. I was talking
Yeah.
more about like Insta brands.
Those people don't count.
Do you know what
They're
it
not
is? I'll be on
designers.
like YouTube and I watch some like influencer with a million subscribers,
Oh,
and they release a brand and they're talking about it in such an intellectual way. They're like, I worked so hard on this brand. And
No,
I
to be fair, I believe they worked hard.
They'll be like, I spent years developing. I got the best designers, and then
No,
they
years
release it.
developing. Years developing means they sent it to the manufacturer, and it took a year to get back
Yeah.
from the manufacturer.
And
That's
then they
what years
release
developing
it,
means.
and all I see is like, what's his name? What's this guy's name? James Charles, that sister brand, and he's calling himself like a fashion designer. I'm like, bro, chill, bro, like chill. Hey, sisters.
Sam Ross for Balenciaga.
Liverpool, Man United.
be
I don't
hard.
follow any of those brands. Samuel Ross for
could be
Balenciaga.
could be
Oh my god, that just seems so off key. Samuel
No,
Ross for
no, I
Balenciaga.
can see that. I can actually see that.
Would it work? Yeah,
It'd
it
be
would.
hard.
It would.
It'd be hard.
Thoughts on Amiri? I'm not the biggest Amiri fan. I feel like Amiri is a mix and match of other brands. Amiri is like bootleg ID Slimane mixed with bootleg Andy Milamista
Bootleg.
with like
So
bootleg
rude.
Prada. Like if you guys look at the last collection, the references in terms of the trousers was literally an Andy copy. The footwear was a copy of ID Slimane. Like all the footwears, those are ID Slimane like boots. Like those are literally ID Slimane silhouettes, like the really pointy toes and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, Amiri's just a joke.
I think older collections are alright.
What, Amiri?
Yeah.
Maybe, but recent stuff. Do you know who Haute Le Mode or Luc Moir is? I'd love to see you collab. Yeah, I definitely know who he is. I can't collab with Haute Le Mode for 2 reasons. 1, because he's based in America, so like how'd that work?
Sticky.
And 2, because he's way bigger than me. Like, how many subscribers does he have? I don't know, but I know it's over 200k.
Oh.
So he would not gain anything from collabing with me, so I don't see why he would, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't expect him to at all. He's like way ahead of me.
Yeah, but that's expected because
What's that?
someone was like Jun Takahashi started from making t-shirt prints, but that's just,
Yeah.
if you look at his brand, that's not surprising.
He said, "What's good, Brody? Live from Massachusetts." Cheers. Amiri is just diet Saint Laurent. Yeah, facts. That's literally what I just said. Michael's like, "What's good? What's up?" He's like, yeah, I'm from Reykjavik. Come here. The style is interesting.
Yeah, I've been to Reykjavik.
Yeah, I haven't been yet, but I have a friend from there. Here from Brooklyn, NYC. He said you can't innovate if you don't know the history of fashion. I guess.
Not true.
I don't think you need to know the history of fashion, but it does help.
It helps, but you don't need to.
Yeah. Jun Takahashi started from making t-shirt prints, bro. Jun Takahashi is like 1 in a trillion. Like,
No, but his whole
like
brand,
what?
the brand blew off t-shirt.
Exactly, and someone was like,
surprising.
"Yeah, but Jun went to Bunker, the best fashion school in Japan." Psh, there we go. There we go. So yeah. Pyrex wasn't about fashion though; it was performance. Working on the paper on it right now. Well, there we go. In New York has spoken. Well, his name's not in New York, but yeah, for the sake of this live stream.
Yeah, everyone who messed with Bin Trill said it was a joke. Everyone who messed with Bin Trill said it was a joke. Literally.
He was Matthew even said it was just a joke, just something they were doing for fun. Yeah, Faz. Heron, Matthew, and Virgil were all just DJing at the time. Amiri is a great brick and mortar ready-to-wear brand. Pretending they're actually a designer brand.
Yo.
Bro, you're overpriced. Represent clothing too.
Oh, good lord.
Yo, represent clothing is bad, bro.
Yo.
And he said it's... He literally said you're overpriced represent clothing. Yo. He said, want to critique my fashion photography at Cozy Mozo... Okay, let's...
What is... I have so many, like, questions about fashion photography.
Yeah.
How does it... I don't really understand how it differs from normal photography.
I don't know either.
Other than the fact that you're shooting people wearing clothes.
I don't really know much about photography, to be honest, so I just go based on the visuals and how it looks. Cozy.
Actually, you can tell us what
underscore
how fashion photography differs from
normal
other versions of photography.
All right, let's see. Cozy Moto photos. I feel like I need to show them what we're looking at. Wait, hold on.
Anto, camera flip.
Camera flip. All right, yeah. So this is their page. So you guys put your opinions down below. I'll let to the democracy take hold. This looks quite like aesthetically. I like the page. But the images themselves, like, to be critical, there's just not, you get what I mean? They look very, what's the word I need to say? Like, as a feed, I really like it, but the images individually don't look what I would consider, like, an aesthetic I like. Let's just put it that way, because I don't really know too much about photography. They just look very flat, is my point. Yeah, that's my my very, what's the word? Uneducated, uncritical review on your photography. Anyway, let's go back to the comments. These comments be going fast, man. 100% don't need to know the history of anything to innovate. Yeah, exactly. Which is why we said it helps, but yeah, you don't need to. Go read Theory of Vanguard. I've heard about that. I really need to read that at some point. You got to start from somewhere, bro. Whether it's making t-shirts or doing student collections at CSM, experience is very key. So I feel like if you take fashion design seriously, your starting point, even though you have to start from somewhere, is never going to be printing text on a plain t-shirt. I just feel like no one who takes fashion design seriously will have that as a starting point. Like, I'm sorry. I know it sounds very... What's the word? It sounds like I'm being a prick or whatever. I'm being like a
Snob.
Fashion elitist or a snob, but it's just facts.
Yo, anyway, I need to go finish this thing before it gets dark.
Yo. See you later, bro. Enjoy your research, or research, as more educated people say.
What is there a difference?
Yeah, you know, apparently you're not supposed to say research. It sounds stupid.
How does it
So
sound
I'm trying to change the way I talk. Research? Fashion research? No, I'm joking. I've been thinking of starting a brand of photography-based fashion. That would be quite cool. He's like, no, even Raf wanted to go to the Antwerp school, but Linda Loper just told him to start his own brand. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think people understand that all those people who are big designers that we respect, like Ray, Raf, Carl, they all, even though they didn't study fashion design, they've wanted to study fashion design. Some of them have tried, and even when the ones that didn't study fashion design, they spent so many years working on their craft before they even came out with anything. I don't know, man. Maybe I take it too seriously. Um, Thoughts on Jean Paul Gaultier gaining hype? I find that a bit weird because, like, JPG is literally a legend in fashion. So I would just assume that Jean Paul Gaultier would always be hyped. But I don't know. Recently, everyone's been buying the tattoo shirts and like some of his archive pieces. I don't get it. Why? Like, why now? That's another brand that people always leave out when they talk about archive brands. They always leave out JPG. I don't get it. Let's see. Plus his industrial background shapes his aesthetic. Yeah, facts. I reckon Eva Ardisnundo would be considered as a fashion photographer. Okay, I don't know who that is, but let me check her on Instagram. Eva. Let's see. Okay, yeah, she is a fashion photographer. Yeah, I really like her stuff. Just looking at it from a glance. Pretentious, that's the word you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to come across as being pretentious, but people just need to take fashion more seriously if they're going to call themselves fashion designer and have whole fashion brands. Crackhead on day 3 on Burning Man or Coachella. That's jokes. Thanks, man. Just say fashion photography is more focused on the clothing and mood of outfits. Alright, fair enough. So say if you were to start a streetwear brand where most of the time it's focused on printing on the t-shirt, how would you go about it? I don't know, because I would just never make stuff like that. But if I was to make stuff like prints, it would be very, very highly conceptualized, like Undercover. Undercover makes prints, like they do a lot of print stuff, but the concepts behind it are so deep. That's why people respect it. It's not just like posting feminism on a t-shirt and then trying to over like conceptualize it. Education is essential and should be constant. It doesn't need to be formal, however. Yeah, exactly. This guy has the right terms. So if you want to be a fashion designer, you don't need to study fashion design. However, you need to be educated in fashion, whether that's in a formal setting or a non-formal setting. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. The other Jean-Paul Gaultier stuff I see blowing up are the Cyberdot stuff. Did you also know he did costume design for the movie The Fifth Element? I never knew that. I actually knew that. But yeah, that's really true actually. Did you see the video of the guys who copied cores? No, I haven't seen that video. No, don't post a link because you won't be able to post one. Send it to me on Instagram. Any thoughts on Hood by Air coming back? I'm looking forward to Hood by Air. Hood by Air is a very underrated brand that a lot of people in fashion copied and they never got credit for that. And I definitely will be, like, I'm just waiting for them to come back with some more stuff and then I'll start reviewing it. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about Hood by Air a lot more on this channel. But what is Shane Oliver doing right now? He's at Helmut Lang, isn't he? And Helmut Lang is not fantastic right now. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. What do you say? I'm self-taught, but I'm teaching myself the foundations of graphic design and teaching myself how to make sewing patterns and how to drape. Investing in a dress form right now. All right, fair enough. So exactly, once again, you don't need to study fashion design, but you're already talking about teaching yourself how to make sewing patterns and how to drape. So it's clear that you take fashion seriously and you know what you're talking about. And you're actually learning tangible things. You're not just like, yo, I'm going to make this really sick brand and like my ideas for the brand. I'm going to have a t-shirt, but like I'm going to have this like print And one of my really favorite movies is Get Out. So like I'm gonna have, you know, a scene from the Get Out and from Get Out, and I'm gonna print it on this T-shirt. And I think it's really cool because like, you know, Get Out, what it signifies and the racism and stuff like that. It really inspires. Like, bro, when I see people over conceptualizing stuff, it's hilarious. Thoughts on brands like Midnight Studios. Midnight Studios is a streetwear brand at best. It's like an Instagram brand, but like they make their stuff with good materials, and that's as far as Midnight Studio goes. A lot of people like to over conceptualize Midnight Studios as well. It's one of those brands that gets over conceptualized a lot. Got questions today. Keep the questions coming. Let's see if I missed out any questions. I hope I didn't. Okay, I didn't miss any questions. Midnight is just a rip-off Undercover and Number 9. Yeah, low key. Low key. Actually, high key. He said Helmet. Shane Nova only did one season at Helmet Lang, I believe. Ah, okay, fair enough. So he's not responsible for the terrible clothing that has been coming out of Helmet Lang. Oh my god. Helmet Lang right now, Lord have mercy. Terrible. Helmet Lang himself would be, if, like, I'm sure he follows, but I'm sure he hates what Helmet Lang has become. There's so many brands who I'm sure are just looking at their brand right now. There's so many designers, sorry, who are looking at their brand right now and just shaking their heads. Like Margiela. I'm sure Margiela just looks at his fashion house right now and he's just like... like, what is going on? He said, no, that brand has been destroyed. Shayna Velli wannabe June. That's it. I'm upset. An Asian couple are at Helmet Lang. I don't... Because Helmet Lang has been so terrible, I just stopped following it. Let me see who's designing at Helmet Lang. Let's see. Helmet Lang. See if I can find out who the designers are. Can't seem to find them anywhere. Wait. Last time I heard of Helmet Lang, it was like Mark Howard or someone that was there, but I just don't know what's going on with Helmet Lang right now. Anyway, let me go back to the comments. If you have the name, like, post it down. Post it in the comment section. Said Helmet Lang follows the Helmet Lang brand on Instagram. All denim jackets with embroidered roses. Helmet just posts his sculptures on his page. Yeah, facts. Is there an equivalent of Fashion East in Milan? Not that I know of. But once again, see, because I'm from London, I only know what's going on, like, in London. And then in terms of, like, Paris, Milan, New York, I only really know the big brands. Are there any topics you'd like to be explored within fashion? A really good topic, actually, is fashion publications. So a lot of YouTubers, for example, me or Haute Le Mode, that talk about fashion, history, critique fashion shows, a lot of people like comment on our videos and are like, you have no pedigree in fashion, like how can you be talking about fashion shows? And if we go and look at fashion publications like Vogue or like, let me just say Vogue, because Vogue is like a culprit of this a lot. Do you know how much information Vogue gets wrong all the time? Like, all the time. But because it's Vogue and it has a name to it, they kind of get this pass, whereas YouTubers like me are held to a higher standard. Where if I even say a sentence wrong, people will be like, "Oh, you said that wrong." Da, da, da. But Vogue isn't held to that high of a standard. So a lot of the time I've seen in Vogue, they just post some horrific information in there, and people eat it up. So actually, someone should explore how like there's this weird thing where people aren't held. Well, the accountability in fashion isn't as high for certain people compared to others. Um, what do you say? Doesn't Italy also have pity on? Yeah, yeah. What's your opinion on Kenzo and their creative directors? Um, Kenzo, I can't really comment on Kenzo because I haven't followed Runaway Kenzo. But as far as ready to wear Kenzo goes, it's terrible. Like ready to wear Kenzo is the epitome of like hood boys, at least in London. He said they are the founders and creative directors of Opening Ceremony in New York. See, I've heard of Opening Ceremony, but I haven't really looked into it like that. I need to look into it. What kind of laptop do you own? An MSI, the latest MSI. You've probably answered this question, but what is your favorite brand and why? And Milanista is my favorite brand slash favorite designer. The reason, so many reasons. Wow, I could talk about this for an hour, but the main reason is that Andy has inspired so many designers that people think are great right now, and she doesn't get the credit. So like Rick Owens says himself that he's the reason why his brand exists was because he was inspired by Andy or other people like Boris Bijan, Saberi. CCP takes a lot of inspiration from Andy. No one talks about it. So like a lot of anti-fashion, anti-fashion type designers, they all take inspiration from Andy and Com. And people only talk about Com when they talk about anti-fashion. No one talks about Andy, which I don't get. I don't get it. So that's just what makes me resonate with Andy. And then also, there's some collections I really like the Marine collection, which was why I was really happy with Andy Minamista SS20, because Sebastian Munier, who's the creative director of Andy right now, he did a Marine collection. I was like, oh, that's literally my favorite Andy collection. He's made another one. So, yeah. I could talk about Andy for years, though. Like, I could go into specific collections, but we're not here for that, are we? Do you think the background and music runway shows affects your thoughts on how you see the clothes? Very rarely, but sometimes it just adds to the collection. What are your aims and goals for the future? Mainly just build my platform on YouTube. Yeah, nothing else apart from that. Opening ceremony is like Urban Outfitters, but they carry designer. Very yucky. Oh my word. Do you think attributes from McQueen could perhaps be used in a streetwear format? Whether that's highly conceptual and very edgy. What do you mean attributes from McQueen? Like you have to go deeper into that. That's very vague. Very, 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 very vague. Who's this person sending me an email? Anyway, what do you think of Chinatown Market? Streetwear brand over conceptualized. That's my thoughts on Chinatown Market. If you were to choose 3 YouTubers to collab with, who would you collab with? Sanjeev, because I've been a fan of Sanjeev forever. However, I don't see how we would collab, because I don't make styling videos. So yeah, that wouldn't make sense. And the other 2 is because they make the same type of videos like me. So Hortland Mode and Bliss Foster, because they review fashion and that's it. So Hortland Mode, Bliss, and Sanj. Yeah. But like I said, with Hortland Mode, he's in America, and then his channel's like way bigger than mine, so it wouldn't make sense for him to collab with me. And then Bliss Foster, numbers wise, it would work. However, he's in America too, I think. So yeah, we need more London channels like this. As in his Scottish heritage bring reference within most of his collections, or his fashion. Oh, being okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you can make a streetwear brand that is referenced from where you're from or your culture and stuff. Of course. You and your streetwear brand would be really good if you did that. However, I think your what's the word? You have too much faith in streetwear. The type of people that make streetwear brands don't think that deeply into the stuff they make. Yo, what's good? Michael Tandy. Kentucky boy. I'm sure you must like Kiko's last collection because of the the jockeys and the Kentucky Derby, because I know you're a Kentucky boy. Anyway, back to the questions. Do you watch PAQ? Not really, but I do know like what PAQ is. Thoughts on Dilara? She's one of my favorite young designers ever. Yo, her stuff is so good. Her stuff is so good. I see that she's inspired by a lot of past Vivienne Westwood and Helmut Lang, but she also has her own design language, which is quite cool. If you guys are not aware of Dilara, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. I'd really butcher some people's names, but basically check her out. Do check her out. Anyway, let me tell you guys some channels to subscribe to. So Bliss, go subscribe to Bliss Foster. You've got who else did I say? Well, Sanjeev, everyone knows who Sanjeev is. Alec, Augustine, Colted. Couple of channels for your head top. Go look at the comment I left on the video. Okay. I'll go look at it after this. Man said everyone's run out of questions. What was I even looking at earlier? Did someone just send me a DM on Instagram? Anyway, back to the live stream. So, thoughts on Asai and how he's referencing his own Vietnamese heritage for a Western market. Finally, now we've got two people talking about London brands. So first he said Dilara, and now we're talking about Asai. So, I really like Asai, and once again, I feel like fashion is more... I'm lost for words today. I don't know what's wrong. Fashion is more genuine when you make a brand that's around your heritage and it takes inspirations from your heritage, which is what I really like about it. It's why I really like Asai. It's also why I really like Jean de Zhao, because he does the same thing. The same thing with Yang Li as well. Those are three brands based in London who do exactly that. You saw Stella McCartney's with LVMH now. Yeah. I saw that yesterday. Very interesting move. Do you watch Kyron? I subscribed to his channel recently, but I don't know that much about him. So, but yeah, I can say I do watch him. I think he's based in Canada, I think. And I think he studied fashion, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me. I'm not too sure about that. You guys, comment down below who your favorite fashion influencers are, because I've lost faith in the fashion industry. I'm trying to find, what's the word? I'm trying to find actual influencers that add something to my life, other than terrible outfits and over conceptualized t-shirt print brands. Ian Connor. Ian Connor. Okay. Not too sure about that. Michael Tandy said yikes. That's hilarious. I can't even tell if he's being serious when he says Ian Connor. I really don't know. I can't tell if he's being serious. Someone said the Fashion Archive. Am I an influencer though? I don't consider myself an influencer. I consider myself someone who sits in my room, gets a camera, films myself, and talks about a video. I'm not influencing anyone to do anything. People just watch my videos and learn. I'm not like like an influencer is someone that makes you do something. I don't make people do stuff. ASAP Rocky checks over stripes. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys could comment down below if you think I'm an influencer. I don't think so, because I don't have any influence per se. Mainly because my following is too small, and the second reason is because I'm not like influencing anything really. I'm just not. Cohen Frost, yeah, I like Cohen Frost. Cohen Frost is a joker. And Cohen Frost has the most unique fashion sense I've ever seen in my life. Like, his outfits are just funny, but I respect that he dresses his own way. Everyone should be like that. Fashion is about expression. Express yourself how you want. Thoughts on Acne Studios? I like Acne Studios. A lot of brands that come from Scandinavian countries do have this kind of like aesthetic of minimalism and all that stuff. But I really do like it though. I like Acne, but it is what it is. It's just minimalism, good quality, some nice cuts here and there, but yeah. And it's like Acne Studios is like more affordable than a lot of other luxury brands as well. Yo, before I go, I just want to say your channel is really helpful in terms of learning more about fashion and designers in general. I really appreciate the hustle. Thanks a lot. I'm curious, what's your opinion on Gosh's response to the allegations and his latest project on Uniforma? Okay, so I really like GR Uniforma. However, I don't know what his response was. So let me know what he said. But yeah, Uniforma is really cool. I was looking at the stuff a while ago because it was stocked in Dover Street Market. So I really liked it. How do you feel about Uzi's fit pics and style? I despise of Lil Uzi Vert's fit pics and his style. I hate them. And hate is a strong word. I can't stand his style. Like, express yourself how you want. However, someone like Lil Uzi Vert, he acts like he's like this fashion. He acts like he's the best dressed person on earth. And for you to behave like that, you have to dress better than that. He literally just wears brands and logos all over. he'll wear like a logo Elix chain and then some like LV print trousers, distressed denim, and then like some Sakai top. But because he's wearing like brands that like your average person doesn't wear, like Sakai and Com, people just think he's a fashion god. I'm sorry, but nah. I'm sorry. And like he wears like Walter Van Beirendonck, so people think, oh my god, he wears Walter Van Beirendonck, he's so sick. But like, just because you wear a brand doesn't make it good. It's how it's styled. I just feel like he doesn't know how to style things properly. Um, Ken Ijima has a cool style. Yeah, Ken is sick. I really love Ken's videos. I watch all his videos. Applying to Dover Street Market, New York in like an hour. Yo, definitely do that. If you apply to DSM, maybe hopefully when I go to New York, I'll be able to see you working there. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to London, and I'm gonna be at DSM. So I'm trying to see what's going in, cause DSM closed on, when was it? I think last week Friday and Saturday. No, last week Friday. So they opened their new installations on Saturday. So I'm going to DSM tomorrow to see what's going on. Like what the new installations look like. He's ruined. That's jokes. I personally really like GR Uniformer. Cool to see you agree. Yeah, I like it. Opinion on Bloody Osiris. See, all these guys, yeah, I know who they are, but I don't follow them because everything they do just isn't my vibe. So like, I know who Bloody Osiris is, and I have kind of an idea of what his style is, but yeah, it's just yeah. So like all these guys like Bloody Osiris, Ian Connor, Lucas Abar, I know who they are, but I've never followed them. So I don't know anything they've done and stuff like that. I've just like seen pictures of them around. Opinion on famous YouTubers being invited to fashion shows. I saw Haute Le Mode made a video about this actually. I hate it because it's like people. So okay, as a fashion YouTuber, I already know I'm in this box where no one in fashion respects fashion YouTubers. So fashion YouTubers can say what they want, but ultimately we do want respect from like people that work in the industry. And how are we going to get that respect when the YouTubers that are getting invited to shows are people that don't even care about fashion or know anything about fashion, like Emma Chamberlain? And like, it's just annoying, man. There's actually famous people who, like, what's her name? Is her name Amy Song or something like that? Because I know Amy Song. I'm not sure if I'm like butchering her name, but she has like 1 million followers. And she is like a influencer I would promote. Like she is the type of person who should be getting invitations to Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, not flipping Emma Chamberlain. Like geez. That being said, I go to Fashion Week, so although I don't go to Fashion Week with as a YouTuber though, so it's different. I don't count because I've been to Paris Fashion Week 3 times, but I've been able to get into shows through connections. So, and then I went to the last London Fashion Week a few weeks ago, and that was because I went with High Fashion Talk. So I never go to Fashion Week as a YouTuber. Ian Connor is a top 3 best dressed right now. Okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. I don't follow him, so fair enough. If you're going to London tomorrow, then might as well make a stop at LNCC in Dalston. Yeah, I'll definitely go there. My friend lives in Dalston as well. Not that she would be there anyway, but yeah. What's your take on Yeezy? Are we talking about the footwear or the brand as a whole? Okay, yeah, so it is Amy Song, yeah. Top 3 best dressed: Riri, Ian, Connor, and ASAP Rocky. Yep, I could agree. There's a couple people here and there though. He was like, I'm assuming you don't like Jacob Wallace sort of fashion/content. I don't follow Jacob Wallace. But I don't know, man. He's funny. Jacob Wallace is like Magnus. They make like funny content where they do like pickups, but there's like a comedic element to it. It is what it is. It's not. Why would I hate it? It's just like styling videos. I don't hate styling videos. It's just not in. It's not what I make. Doesn't mean I hate it. Yeezy brand. Okay, so Yeezy, clothing wise, Yeezy is just, it is what it is. It's like a bootleg Jill Sander. However, the footwear is really amazing. Every all the footwear for Yeezy mainline is really sick. But outside the footwear, I can't really say it. It's just like high quality sweatshirts and like sweatpants and like it's just a bootleg Jill Sander, literally. Thoughts on PAQ fashion style content. Okay, so PAQ, I really like their styles, and I like how each member of PAQ dresses different. That's something I really like because once again, fashion is expression. So I don't see how so many people express themselves in the same way. Doesn't really make sense to me. So yeah, I love PAQ. Their content is really high quality as well. It's just that it's really hard to follow because the videos, you know, it's going to be about a topic, and then it's a challenge, and there's going to be a judge, and then at the end someone wins. Like it's just, it got a bit boring. I don't know, man. Amy Song is a certified cutie. Nah, we love Amy Song here, man. Amy Song is a real influencer. That's like the type of influencer I would back. She's the type of person who should be getting invited and paid to do campaigns for like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. Not all these flipping Emma Chamberlain and the Dolan twins and all these guys who couldn't even tell you who the creative director of Louis Vuitton is. No, Amy Song is. If you guys aren't subscribed to her, by the way, I'll post her channel down here actually. Song of Style, I think it is. I think so. Top 3 dressed in a dog pound. Do you think Rocky should be free? No. No. Even though the guys who hit ASAP Rocky were in the wrong, there's no excuse to stomp on someone. So he assaulted someone. I know it's like trendy to say free Rocky and all of that, but he did literally jump someone with like 4 other guys. There's like no excuse to ever do that. Because is that how you react? Like, does that mean that if I'm walking on the street and I'm a famous rapper, that if someone punches, like a woman punches me, I have the right to just like knock her out because she punched me first? Like, that's a bit stupid. Like, I don't know, man. I believe like he deserves to be in prison. But it is trendy, like free Rocky and all of that. Keep producing content. Thanks a lot. Maria Garci Churi, do your critique or roast? Nah, man. I'll leave that to Hortland Mode. Do you know why? I don't want to make videos that Hortland Mode has already made. Otherwise, I'm just going to become a bootleg Hortland Mode. So I'll let Hortland Mode do all the NGC critiques. But yeah, her stuff has been horrific. Her YouTube channel is bomb as well. I think she normally gets invited to the big shows in Paris. Okay, I'm not too sure, but I hope she does. I hope she does. As far as I recall, we need Rocky, the music fire. Yeah, I don't think we need Rocky. Like, we can survive without ASAP Rocky. But yeah, I don't. This whole like free ASAP Rocky thing is a joke, man. Like, he does deserve to be in prison. You don't. Whatever happens to you is not an excuse to like assault someone with 5 people. There's no excuse to do that. Like, the logic of people that say free Rocky is so stupid. Like, does that mean like if someone hits you, you can just like shoot them or something? Like, what? And then you'll be like, oh, but those guys hit him first. Like, it's so dumb. Such a stupid mentality, mate. Dumb mentality. His what do you think of the new Chanel and Fendi? So Chanel. Okay, let's start with Chanel. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, so I'll just call her Vivi. Her stuff is really amazing. everything she's done at Chanel has been really good. Obviously, because she worked under Karl Lagerfeld for so long, um, there's a lot of elements from Karl Lagerfeld, like the collars and the stuff like that in the collection. So Chanel, everything that's been done at Chanel so far, I really liked. I know a lot of people don't share that same opinion. However, Fendi, well, the last Fendi collection was a hit and miss. I liked half of it and I didn't like the other half. Tips on getting started with a fashion channel that isn't like hauls and vlogs. I'm considering it, been so inspired by your content. I think because every single fashion channel right now is like hauls, vlogs, pickups, just by virtue of you doing something different, you're gonna blow. So if you're trying to make a YouTube channel on fashion history or like talking about fashion that isn't hauls and vlogs and stuff, then go for it. You will probably blow up very soon. Thoughts on Gosha as a designer or in comparison to designers like Virgil Abloh? Just watch your video on what makes someone a good designer and their ability to represent their vision slash design on a garment like Ray. Without assistance, yeah. Said I agree with you, but still. So, the reason why Gosha Ruchinsky, I consider him a better designer than Virgil is because, first of all, Gosha is from Russia. And the thing about Russian fashion, the inspiration is so on point. Like how Russians are inspired by, like, sorry, not inspired, but like the way Russians dress is very vintage sportswear. Russians are into sports like football, so there's a lot of football elements in it. And Adidas is a brand that literally is the epitome of Russian in like the 90s, 80s. So it just, everything that Gosha makes, it just makes sense inspiration wise. Whereas you could like with Gosha, you can see where the inspiration comes from. It's genuine because he's Russian, sorry. And he actually does have some good design skills where the tailoring as well is really good. So it's not just the inspiration, there's actually some really good tailoring and construction in the brand. However, with Off-White, it's just like there's no direction, there's no inspiration. The brand is all over the place. And on top of the brand being all over the place, the clothing itself is not designed properly. Like Off-White screams like someone who can't design. The stuff doesn't fit on the models properly. Like the shoulders don't fit. So that's kind of where I don't really like Off-White. And then on top of stuff not fitting, it being all over the place, not there not really being any proper inspiration. On top of that, he copies designers like literally completely. He'll like get a look from a young designer and literally copy it completely. Like he won't even change it. So all of that considered is why Virgil to me is just not a good designer in any respect or regard. Um, let's see. Now that there are so many styles to get inspiration from up on the web, and it seems that every style has been covered already, how do you think the importance of personal style will evolve? So honestly, going back to like my point when I said that I feel like fashion is self-expression, and I feel like no one should look the same because we all express ourselves differently. And that being said is why if you really have personal style, not just like you claim to, you won't dress like everyone else. You'll dress in your own kind of way because there's no way every single person in the world can like Louis Vuitton logos and Fendi logos and Balenciaga Triple S. That's just a lie. I think people just let themselves be overly influenced by what they see on Instagram as opposed to finding themselves and being like, I really like Sakai and that resonates with me, so I'm just gonna like mainly wear Sakai. Or I really like Celine and that resonates with me, so I prefer wearing stuff that like Celine makes or similar stuff to that. When people get to that point, we'll see more individual style. So I feel like for us to get to that point, there just needs to be more people mainstream, like Cortland Mode, who talks about fashion in an intellectual way, because that way people are finding out about more brands, and then there's more brands that they can learn about to eventually find themselves. But for now, Lord have mercy. The people that are in the mainstream influencing people and style, like Kim Kardashian, geez, it's a big shame. I like Phoebe and I wish she makes menswear. I honestly think she could be the best menswear. She could have had the best menswear in the past 10 years. That's all speculation because it's not that easy to design menswear. But yeah, I can imagine what Phoebe Philo's menswear would look like. Very floral colors. Like Phoebe's menswear would be like Dries Van Noten menswear, but like more minimalism, and the silhouettes would be wider. Am I tacky for forever loving those multicolour Louis Vuitton print bags that were hype in the early thousands? Nah, don't worry, you're not tacky. If you like it, you like it. He said, "Yeah, I agree. Thanks for your perspective slash response. Agreed. Off White seems so lazy, aka fast fashion. Yeah, Off White is just like overly conceptualized. It's like an overly conceptualized streetwear brand. That's what Off White is. Have you listened to Virgil Abloh's Love DJ sessions? No, I haven't. Send me links. Any epic grails? Everything from the original Andy Marine collection. Every single look in that whole collection. Andy boots. There's so many different boots. I could go into it, but there's so many different Andy boots I want. There's the backlacing Vitello boots that I really like. That's a grail. When I become rich in future, I'll definitely buy those. What else is a grail for me? Some Yodi stuff, like 2001. I really like some Yodi pieces, like the outerwear from 2001. I don't really have that many grails. I could get some more Craig Green quilted jackets. Um, yeah, that's as far as it goes. I don't know. I just take life as it comes because I'm not rich, so I don't really think about grails because I know I can't afford it anyway. So, is Yeezy better than Virgil? What do you mean? Like, is Yeezy mainline better than Off White? Nah, I wouldn't say that. The footwear is better, but Yeezy as a brand, like mainline, is not better than Off White. I don't think. Is it worth learning how to make clothes slash the fundamentals of design if you are a creative minded individual who is seriously interested in starting school for it? Of course. How will you want to go to study fashion design and you've not learnt how to make clothes? Like, what? Say what? Yeah, you have to learn because on a fashion design course, just based on my friends that like study fashion design at different schools like CSM, when you start fashion design at CSM, they expect you to know certain things. So if you don't know like how to design clothes, you're gonna be so behind on a fashion design course. Like it's a must. You have to. Like it's not even like a choice. If you want to study fashion design, you have to learn. Not like complicated stuff. Okay, let me think of what you would need to learn. You would need to learn how to make patterns, like pattern drafting and stuff like that. You'd have to know the basics of sewing. You would have to know. Let's see, what else would you have to know? You'd have to know how to do like garment research at like a simple level, like how to source garments and stuff like that. You would have to have a little bit of knowledge on textiles and like the uses for different materials. Yeah, I think that's as far as like you would need to know before you study fashion design. But to not know anything, that's yeah, don't do that. Do not do that. Um, I like how to design. I know how to design clothes already. I'm just kind of raw with my skills. Okay, that's cool. Just like keep working on your craft. Just keep working on your craft. Daniel says, "Who are you?" I am a nobody. That's who I am. What's better, a Cold War or Off White? Definitely a Cold War. It's like a no contest. Wait, what do you say? You could just learn out how to make clothes and study fashion design on the internet. It's 2019. Yeah, that's true. Although, even though you study, like, it's one thing to study fashion design on the internet, and it's another thing to put what you've learnt to practice under pressure and having to, like, show at, like, Fashion Week and stuff. So, just because you study fashion design online still, you have to intern and work under someone for a bit. Like, it isn't just good enough to study fashion design online, but that is a good starting point. What do you say? Oh, great, that's everything I wanted to know. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. And having garments in hand and being in that environment must be essential. Exactly. Facts. Yoji or Ray? Um, so many people ask me this question. I prefer Yoji in terms of aesthetic, like personal preference wise, but um, in terms of who do I think is greater as a designer, I think Ray, because Yoji and Ray, they're kind of like they came up at the same time. They're both pioneers of anti-fashion. However, if you go on Ray's resume, it's just way better than Yoji's resume. Like, think of the people that have worked under Ray, like Tao Kurihara, Chitose Abe, Fumito Ganryu, Jinya Watanabe. Like, think of stuff like Dover Street Market. Her resume, man, is too much. It's too much. No one can rival Ray alive right now. Good idea. I'll probably intern or at least try to. Yeah, you should intern at a fashion brand. You should definitely intern at a fashion brand. I've interned for two brands, Deploy London and Stella McCartney, and what I learned interning for those two brands, that I couldn't have learned any of that like studying fashion design. So even if you study fashion design, still intern. It's not enough to just like learn in a classroom setting. What do you say? I'm fed up with all these Instagram brands. All of them are the same. Yeah, facts. If you want to study design, please make it more seriously than others, like attend university. Yeah, facts. Facts, facts, facts. Um, June or Takahiro? He's asking me, so first he asked me, years your way. I'd go with June. What did you study exactly? So I'm still in school, but I study engineering. But don't bear in mind, so what I'm gonna do is like, after I finish university, I'm going to work for a long time, save up money, then I'm gonna go study fashion design at like CSM or wherever. Wherever accepts me, because to be honest, those schools love rejecting people, so we'll see how that goes. Yo, what's up, YOLO? Some people can afford university, so I was literally just well, I wasn't talking about you, but I was talking about high fashion talk like 30 minutes ago. Some people can't afford university. Yeah, exactly. So if you can't afford university, then definitely learn outside of the classroom. The problem I have is because people in fashion don't think like me. So if people in fashion thought like me, it would be fine. Because if people in fashion thought like me, and I was like, yeah, you don't have to study fashion design, people would be intelligent enough to understand that when I say you don't have to study fashion design, that doesn't mean make a t-shirt brand. What that means is go and learn by interning, work under a really good fashion designer, and work on your craft. Study, read, like there's stuff online. Do as much research as you can. Go to the library, read books. That's what I mean when I say you don't have to study fashion design. I still mean you have to work hard. But unfortunately, some people feel like, oh, why should I study fashion design? And then they don't do the research they need, or they don't work on their craft, and then they just become crap designers. Um, what does it take to get into a fashion school? You just need a really good portfolio. And you have to look at the entry requirements for every university, for every course, but you might need some grades here and there. In England, you would need like certain A levels or like UCAS points. Um, you guys better buy my pieces in 10 years' time if I go hard on it. Yeah, it was good. YOLO, it was good. Has Lady Gaga been more high fashion or costume over the years? Is she a fashion icon, or was that label attached to her purely as hype? I don't think Lady Gaga even cares about fashion like that. She just works with brands like Celine and stuff, and they dress her, so now people think she's a fashion icon. I think that's more of a marketing thing more than anything else. Isn't it hard to get an internship? Honestly, it is so easy to get a fashion internship. So easy. Once again, I told you guys, I've not applied to any internship I've done. Everything has been me meeting people or word of mouth. I think people think it's hard because people aren't sociable. If you go to a fashion event and you talk to like 10 people, an opportunity to intern is going to be opened up just on that day alone. So like if you live, it might be harder if you don't live like in a big city, but like if you live in a big city, there's no excuse because there's going to be a fashion scene. Like if you live in New York, Milan, Paris, those type of cities, there's fashion events literally like almost every week. There's fashion shows, there's fashion week. Like there's such a big fashion industry that like if you go to any fashion event and you just get talking to people and you're sociable a bit, opportunities just open. It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. Remember, guys, I was a industry outsider. Like I had no connection in the industry, and I just went to fashion events, started talking to people, you know, gained experience, gained contacts, stuff like that. However, if you don't live in a big city, then I can understand how it's hard. But like, honestly, if you live in a big city, there's just no excuse. No excuse. What do you say? People approach fashion in the wrong way. Should be appreciated more as an expressionist art. Yeah, for sure. But how do you start a portfolio if you don't know how to make clothes? Like I make some graphic t-shirt, but it's definitely not good for a portfolio. Just work on your craft. Work on your craft. If you started with graphic t-shirts, work on your craft. Learn how to sew and make more conceptual things. Learn how to make patterns. Learn how to drape, like literally. So just because you're making t-shirts now doesn't mean in a year's time you won't be better. Just work on your craft. Do you know how easy it is to learn how to sew? Get a sewing machine, save up money, get a job, whatever, save up money, buy a sewing machine, and learn off YouTube. There's YouTube tutorials for days on how to sew. And just based on that, you can start working with different ideas. Like you can start deconstructing things and like sewing different bits together and just like experimenting. And eventually you'll get really good at it. The biggest problem is being able to live close to an internship and being able to afford to intern for free. Yeah, facts. And that's why I said if you don't live in a big city, I can understand the issue. But if you live in a big city, then yeah, mate. To be fair though, I'm kind of privileged. Well, not privileged because I worked for it, but all my internships have been paid for. So that's another thing. I live in the middle of nowhere, but if I can have a job while I intern, it'll be straight. Yeah, for sure. I need to research on fashion events in Copenhagen. Yeah, Copenhagen is one of those cities that definitely has a huge fashion scene. And there's a lot of fashion events. And if you just got talking, man, be sociable. Don't be antisocial. Like, talk to people when you go to these events. These people, a lot of them could really open doors for you. Like people that are looking at the fashion industry from the outside in think it's so hard to get in because they're not sociable people. What fashion school would you go to? Obviously the best ones. I'll try to, not that I'll get in, but London, to be honest, we have so many good fashion schools that even if I don't get into CSM, there's so many left. There's like Westminster, which has a really good course. Obviously CSM is under LCF, so I don't have to go to CSM, but being in any fashion school under LCF would be quite cool. Even Goldsmiths has a really reputable fashion. So just, I want to be in London though, so any fashion school in London. What's the very first thing that made you interested in fashion? Mine was probably these little kids design sketchbooks called Top Model from when I was like 6 or 7. It was my friends that got me into fashion. I was literally just a basketball player who didn't care about fashion really, and I had a friend that was really into like Yoji, and he kind of just got me into it, and then from there, yeah, I got really deep into it. He said the fashion industry is so huge, I have no idea where to start. Yeah, I can understand that. Fashion from the outside seems kind of daunting. Yeah, I understand that. It was daunting for me at first, but the more people I got talking to, I started to realize that, like, literally all these things. Wait, what? Okay, Fez. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is moving a bit crazy. Um, interesting. Interesting. You could try get a job slash volunteering doing fashion week maybe. I've always wanted to try, but I live in non-major cities. When will super low-rise jeans have their moment in the sun again? I don't like low-rise jeans though, not gonna lie. Elliot and Mill is looking for interns. There we go, guys. Start applying. Yolo just said Elliot and Mill is applying for interns, so is looking for interns, sorry, not applying. It's dumb. So yeah, guys, start applying. Like in London, at least, man, the fashion industry is so accessible. It's crazy. I'm just like lazy. Like if I really, really wanted to do deep stuff in the industry, I could. Like I want to start interviewing fashion designers. I just haven't like followed through. Like if I actually put effort into it, within the next 2 months, I could realistically interview Martine Rose, Samuel Ross, probably not Kiko because he's like quite kept to himself, but like I could interview quite a few famous designers, and it's like not that hard. I just need to like put in more effort into like trying to get a hold of these guys. Um, for permanent and summer positions, there we go. There we go. Favorite designer Andy Willemista. I remember years ago when everyone around me used to wear acid wash jeans. That's jokes. Um, it's just I had bad experiences when going to fashion events and fashion week. Like people looked at me like I didn't belong, and were quite unfortunately arrogant. Why am I still in high school? Um, so yeah, the problem with the fashion industry is there is a lot of snobbery that goes on that I do not like about the industry. A lot of people think they're on top of the world. What I would prefer if like everyone in the industry was friends and people collaborated with each other. However, I'm the type of person that I just don't really care. So like if I talk to you and you're like bitchy, I'll just register it as okay, this is a bitch, and then I'll go talk to the next person. That person might be nice. So you can't let one snobbish like bitch affect how you view the whole industry. And there's really nice people. Like I've talked to so many fashion designers. I've met Ray Kawakubo in person. She's really nice. I've met Martine Rose in person. She's really nice. Under the same breath, I've met some designers who I won't mention because, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Who are absolute bitches and they think they're on top of the world. And like Ray Kawakubo is like will be bigger than their career will ever go in their whole life. And when I met Ray, she was so nice. And she literally owns like DSM and like has one of the greatest brands of all time. And she's nice. And then you have some like London designer who's like nowhere near the level of Ray, like acting bitchy. So the fashion industry is just some people will be nice, some people will be pricks. You just have to suss out who's nice, who isn't. Um, he said, I remember when people thought it was weird to wear skinny jeans. I remember that. If you want to work at Fashion Week in London, email Blonde Scene Productions. See, Iolo has all the connections. Hey, Iolo has all the connects. Thoughts on Grailed pieces becoming the new Supreme, like it or hate it? I don't know, man. I like it because I'd rather see Archive Yoji on my feed than like a Supreme box logo. Styled with Gucci print and off-white Jordans. So, YOLO says spill. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to negatively affect people's opinions on certain designers, so I won't do that. However, I will tell you about the designers that have treated me nicely, like Matthew Williams or Martin Rose or Ray Kawakubo. I think those are the only designers I've actually met in person. Who else have I met? Yeah, I've only met Martin Rose, Ray, and Matthew Williams. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, I'd like to meet more designers and pick their brain. When I met Ray, it was kind of awkward though, because her English isn't like that good. And I think Adrian Joff is normally like her translator, like normally. So, there we go. Do you think Jack Moose is an overrated designer? Not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. I think Jack Moose, like, as a brand, is, like, mid-tier. It's, like, better than your average brand, but it's not, like... It isn't No Com, or it's not Helmut Lang. So it will never be, like, Rick. It's not on that level. It will never be that, but it's not overrated. I think people recognize it for what it is. It's really interesting clothing with really nice shapes and a really nice color palette that's inspired by the south of France. And aesthetically, it's really aesthetically pleasing. It's also by a young designer who understands how the fashion industry works and someone who understands social media, which is why he does really good things on social media. And the accessories are really good. So it is what it is. It's a really good brand. It's It's not overrated, I wouldn't say. Jacques Mousse had the best fashion show, no cap. Oof. I wouldn't say that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. I wouldn't say that, but we are entitled to our own opinions. I want to start a fashion podcast. Thoughts? I don't know, man. Start your podcast. The sooner the better. Talk about interesting topics in fashion, like controversial stuff. But yeah, that story I was saying was so funny though, that I literally met this London designer who was acting like he was on top of the world. And I was just thinking, yo, I literally met Ray Kawakubo like last week and she was so nice. And like literally, Ray Kawakubo's minions will design better clothes than you'll ever make. Like, Junior Watanabe is a better designer than this guy. Like, Chitose Abe is a better designer than this designer will ever be. He was acting like a prick. Well, he had the best set. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Like, aesthetically. He said, you look tired. What have you been up to? Nothing much, really. Just, like, doing research and stuff. Not much. I look tired because my hair's a mess. Because I didn't comb it. There's definitely a need for a fashion podcast. Yeah, for sure. I agree. The lavender was cute. Fair enough. Simon Bod Jagmus. Interesting guy. Axel Arigato is a bootleg common projects. The Dropcast by Heist Nabayati is a nice fashion podcast. Hey, you guys are stealing my fashion ideas. Okay. Quick spoiler alert. The next video I'm dropping, which is going to release tomorrow, is on fashion podcasts. So yeah. Are you going to Women's? Most likely not, because I'll be busy in September. But I might go to Paris Women's, but that's about it. I won't go to London's, most likely Milan or New York. but I think I might go Paris. I might go to London. I might. It depends if I'm busy or not. Because like uni will be starting, and like I'm going into final year and stuff like that. How does Hypebeast and High Sobriety work when promoting streetwear brands? Yep. So the streetwear brands pay for a feature. This is not the case all the time. Sometimes it's like there's no added cost, but for the most part, let's say you're an up and coming streetwear brand, you contact High Sobriety or Hypebeast, they charge a fee, and then you get featured on in like an article and like whatever. That's how it works. So that's how like fashion publications earn so much money. So like Vogue, they like on Vogue Runway, for example, a lot of brands pay to be on Vogue Runway, like the app. Because if you're on Vogue Runway, that means Vogue has to pay for photographers to go to your show, to film and take pictures and stuff. So it makes sense. But that's how like publications earn money. Also editorials, they get paid for stuff like that. There's a lot of things they get paid for. In Vogue magazine itself, I think I've got a magazine here so I could show you. Hold up. Okay, so this is the latest Vogue Homme magazine. So adverts like this, so Gucci for example, they paid to be like in on this page of the magazine, or like Dior at the back, they like paid for that. So yeah, that's how it works. Did you see the allotment? Yeah. I was talking to Sol this morning. Apparently, someone stole £5,000 worth of stock. I was so hurt, bro. The allotment is family. Minimum commitment on High Snobiety is 10k. So unless you have that, you need to try and make friends with someone there. Yo, 10 grand. Damn. I didn't even know it was that much. That is insane. Wow. 10 grand. Whoa. And if High Sobriety is 10 grand, I wonder how much it costs for Vogue. Jeez. Did you really buy Vogue? I don't really. The only Vogue I buy now is Vogue Homme. And that's not for. I don't remember. I just told you, like, Vogue, the information in there is horrific. I buy it for, like, the styling. I like to see what the styling is and what the people at Vogue think is like, because they're really good. Vogue is really good at like trend forecasting, so I really like to see what they think are the upcoming trends, just to know what's like going on. That's why I buy Vogue. Vogue is like more of a gossip thing, more than anything else. Yeah, networking is key. So that's a shame for upcoming small designers that can't afford that. Facts. You have to consider if your brand will actually fit High Snobiety's demographic. Facts. Then you have to make sure that you make content that really works for them, or you can pay them even more to make even. So Biovested, way better journalism. Yeah, I should actually. I should. I'm going to London tomorrow anyway, so I'm gonna check out a couple of magazines and see what's going in. Or you can pay them even more to make the content. Wow. That's insane. But on the plus side, you get that reputation from them and followers in perpetuity. Yeah, it is a good thing to say, like, I've been featured in Vogue. That's like pedigree. Like, if I had a brand, I would probably pay to get featured in Vogue. Because, like, if a customer has never heard of your brand and then you have featured in Vogue, Dazed, even though you paid for it, they don't know that. So, like, they're just like, oh, it must be legit. Unfortunately, that's just how the industry works. Although, funny enough, I might not need things like Vogue if I was to make a brand, because I understand how to work social media. So I don't need publicity from a fashion fashion publication to make my brand sell or stuff like that. But on the plus side, you can get that reputation from them. Are you going to do any interactive series like Icy Coast? How much is your outfit? If I was to ever do an interactive series, it would just be me on the streets of London, like asking people fashion questions, but like not deep. Like, what's your favorite fashion brand and why type thing. Like where there's videos where people just go on the street and ask strangers random questions. I could do those type of videos. Um, it's like an article pays for itself over years, not straight away. Yeah, facts. Facts, facts. I honestly hate the how much is your outfit videos always hype beast. That's the thing though. The title is how much is your outfit worth? So you can't expect anything else. Because from the title, how much is your outfit worth? So it's about the cost, not about what you're wearing or how it looks. He should change the title to like, I don't know, what's your favorite outfit or like what are your favorite fashion pieces? But he's not going to do that because it's trendy to have how much is your outfit worth. Those videos get like 1 million views, so financially there's no reason for him to stop. I understand, but it's just yeah. I mean, ultimately, like, yo, people have to eat, man. If I had a series that got me 1 million views consistently, I would continue to do it, man. So I get it. I get it. Always hype piece in Supreme and Gucci. People cap on their fits. That's facts. Wearing Gucci sneaks doesn't automatically make you fashionable. Oh my god. I do not see. I don't like talking about like fashion style because I feel like my fashion style isn't that good. So I don't like commenting about people's style. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. See, I'm the type of fashion I'm into can't be replicated at an affordable price. So I just end up buying like simple pieces and I'm just like, yeah, when I get rich, I'll buy all the stuff I've always wanted. So until then, I don't really like commenting on people's style because even my style isn't fantastic. So it's like I don't feel like I have the right to be saying this person dresses bad or good. However, some people it's just like what do you say? I think in a year all these hype beasts will wear archive raf. Oh my god. Archive raf is really nice. It's just so annoying it's become a meme. Like who doesn't love Archive Raf Simmons though? What do you think about the flame aesthetic? Let's not even talk about that. Um, what do you say? What CCP? CCP is a brand. Carol Christian Powell. It's like a how do I describe it? It's like a very artisanal brand. Very. It's like the aesthetic is similar to like Boris Bijan Saberi, if you know that brand. And they make very avant-garde footwear. That's what they're really known for. But it's like become a meme because people buy stuff like CCP and feel like they're fashion gods. What do you say? Everyone has a different taste anyway. Yeah, facts, facts. Some celebrities should pay for stylists. No more Fendi prints. Do you know what I really, yo? Do you know what I find really funny? Um, so there's what's the word? There's a lot of celebrities, let me say, in the current day who like flex. It's like a flex to kind of say no stylist. It's kind of like a flex to say like I have no stylist. So you have people like Lil Uzi Vert or like Gunna, who to me dress horribly, and then you'll see like in the caption they'll put like no stylist, and it's like, bro, trust me, you need a stylist. Like you need a stylist. It's not a flex. He was like, if you don't like Archive Raf, you're inbred. I'm dead. When I become a famous fashion designer, I'll give you some credit on educating. Yo, thanks. Any pedigree I need from anyone, obviously, I'll take it. I'll take it. What kind of music do you listen to? Honestly, I listen to everything, every single genre of music, like house, like techno, hip hop, jazz. I listen to R&B. I listen to everything, apart from metal, because to me metal does sound like noise. I really don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I would want to see hypebeast YouTubers like Blake Linder or Blazendarian full Rick Owens fits or full CCP fits. That's jokes. No stylist is obvious. Facts. To be honest, hypebeasts are wearing Ramones now. Yeah, that's facts. I don't get that though. When did Ramones become hype? Like, I just don't get it. Like, Ramones are really hype right now. I meant more in the fact that people buy big brands only for clout, which is, in my opinion, a sad development. Yeah, facts. Do you know what it is? So, it's really strange. So, for example, I like Andy. I'm just lucky that Andy isn't trendy to wear, because if Andy was trendy to wear, people would probably say about me that I only like Andy because like it's trendy. So I feel like there's a lot of Rick boys who really love Rick and like actually like what he wears, but there's also people that wear Rick only because they know if they wear Ramones, people consider them a higher tier of fashion, and they don't really care about Rick. They've probably never seen a Rick show in their whole life, but they just know that if I wear Ramones, I'm going to be considered more stylish. And that's really sad that fashion has become like that. Or like, there's like a couple pieces that people wear for that specific reason that people will consider them more stylish. So like Rick Ramones, like a Dior saddlebag, that's a very gimmicky piece that like people wear to be considered more stylish. Even a higher tier of that is like CCP, but not all the time. But yeah, it's just sad, man, that fashion has come to that. I just wish people just buy what you like. Just buy the brands you like. And if that happens to be Balenciaga, so be it. But don't just buy Balenciaga because it's hype. Jeez, man. What do you think about Beyonce's style and aesthetic? To be honest, I don't really follow Beyonce enough to comment on her style. He said it's like the hype beast rediscovered Ian Connor. PAQ boys. I like PAQ, man. If you watch PAQ, Dex needs to be kicked off. What? Why does Dex need to be kicked off? Dex is calm. Io should replace Dex. To be honest, me and Dex are the same. All we wear is black. Although I'm not as bad as Dex though. I do wear colour. Like from time to time, I'm not that bad. What did you say? Preach on that. Yes, facts, man. It's just, I just don't get. I don't know. I don't even get that way of like reasoning. How can you go to a store, go to the Balenciaga section or the Gucci section and be like, I want to buy the monogram print because like I want people to know what I'm wearing is expensive and I want to be seen as rich. Like I don't even get that way of thinking. Like buying stuff that you don't even like, but you're just buying it because you know you'll get approval from like other people. That mentality is, I find it hard to even fathom. Who's your favourite PAQ member? Danny Lamas. I just like his style personally the best out of all of them. And like I know him, like we have mutual friends. PAQ is a good intro to fashion, I think. Yeah, I agree. Dex was really nice to me on the shoot I was on. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. All of those guys seem really nice. When I was at London Fashion Week, I saw Shaq all over the place. He was like everywhere. Literally, Shaq was everywhere. Shaq was at almost every single show I went to, and then every single party I went to. at London Fashion Week as well. Shaq was there. It was just like, yo, this guy is active. And literally, I did not see anyone else from PAQ, only Shaq. I only saw Danny Lamas and everyone else at the Liam Hodges show. But apart from the Liam show, Shaq was everywhere. He said Shaq's greater than Danny. Nah, G. I prefer Danny's style the most. He said, yo, what's up, Ruben? Yeah, I remember I was in Alex's stream, live stream. Yo, what's up? Why do you think they're a good intro to fashion? Because PAQ, even if you don't care about fashion, the quality of it is so high, the production level is so high, and the entertainment value is so high that you would just watch it for entertainment. And then just by virtue of watching it, now you're hearing brands like Comme des Garçons and Yoji and like other brands that you've probably never heard of. So I feel like it's a good introduction for someone who doesn't know about fashion to learn about fashion, or to like hear about brands they've never heard before. Like, let's say someone who doesn't care about fashion hears about, I don't know, Sakai. They're going to be like, oh, what's that? Let me go check up on that. Let me Google it. So that's why it's a really good intro to fashion. Because someone who isn't into fashion would watch PAQ, whereas someone who isn't into fashion would not watch my channel at all. So my channel is for like people who are like either into fashion or like warming up into it kind of thing. First time to your live. Oh, yo, that's cool. What's your horoscope sign? I have no idea, bro. Well, I shouldn't say bro because I don't know if you're a man or a woman. Or if you're genderless. That's another thing. We don't discriminate on this channel. I don't know what your pronouns are. By the way, Shaq is lit, like I love him. Yeah, Shaq is cool, man. I agree with you on PAQ, but they do teach some bad tricks that are really annoying in styling. Wait, seriously, like what tricks? I don't really watch PAQ that much to realise stuff like that, so spill the tea, sis. Spill the tea, sis. He says you seem like an Aquarius. Hold on, let me find out what my horoscope sign is. So many guys are like into that. You know, I need to learn that stuff because I read somewhere that like if you want to flirt with girls, the best opening statement apparently is like to talk about star signs and like stuff like that. But hold on. Horoscope. So let's see what I am. I am a Scorpio. There we go. I'm a Scorpio. Like the color matching thing. Okay, yeah, that is quite annoying. What do you think of the girl equivalent channel, Kyra? Never watched it. Neva. I think it's called Neva. I don't know, man. Neva's just... I don't know. It's just, I can't resonate with it. I don't know. I've never watched it, so I don't have an opinion on it. Although one of my friends is going to be featured on Neva, so I'm going to watch that episode. Thoughts on Asics becoming mainstream from what are those? It's mainly because of Kiko. Man like Kiko. He made Asics mainstream again. And I like super simple themes taken too elaborately, so it's more costumey. Yeah, that's facts. That's jokes. What's your favorite collection of all time? Lord have mercy. Yo. I don't think I have one favorite collection of all time. However, McQueen has a lot of my favorite collections. So there's a collection where at the end there was like this person who was on life support and stuff like that. That collection was so amazing. a lot of McQueen collections, to be honest. Maybe like 5 McQueen collections. There's a collection where, still talking about McQueen, by the way. There's just favorite collection. That's so broad. There's a McQueen collection that people wearing like these low-rise trousers. That was really amazing. There's another McQueen collection where at the end there was this woman and she was like, it was like based on like the digital world and stuff like that, and there were like these big machines spraying ink on her dress and stuff like that. Yo, don't get me started with McQueen. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But yeah, when I actually think about it, Andy is probably not my only favorite designer. Like, McQueen is definitely up there as well. But yeah, man. What are my other some of my other really... Comme des Garçons. Now we're talking about Comme des Garçons. The collection, what was it called again? Body meets dress. Dress meets body. Iconic. What are some other really iconic collections that I really like? Vivienne Westwood. Vivienne Westwood's first collection. Amazing. First runway collection. That was the one that took inspirations from like pirates. The pirate collection that had like the pirate boots and all that stuff. All that stuff that people still buy today. People still buy Vivienne Westwood pirate boots, man. Yo. I can't even, I'll just end there because it's so, like, I'm even lost for words. For me to actually talk about my favorite collections, that would take years. When's your birthday? I was born on the 15th of November. So, yeah. Neva was okay in the beginning, now I just cringe. A6 and Awake. New York. Oh yeah, Awake did have a really good collab with A6. Yeah, talk about the horoscope and you'll get them hooked. Yeah, man. I heard if you just go to the ladies, man. You're like, let's say I've never talked to this girl before, and I'm just like, yo, what's up? What's your star sign? And I'll just start there and I'll be like, yeah, I'm a Scorpio, and obviously it just like talk rubbish. Just be like, yeah, Scorpios are known to be caring and did it, even if they're not. And just like talk crap, and then you can like create a whole conversation off that. Who's your favorite UK rapper? Dave. Also talk about Birkenstocks denying a collaboration from Supreme. Supreme really trying to collaborate with any brand alive. No, but Birkenstocks has collabed with some really good brands, especially Rick Owens. So I think they're trying to position themselves in a certain way, I guess. And if you collab with Supreme, yeah. It's like asking what's your favorite meal you've ever eaten. That's so true. That's so true. It's so hard for me to come up with like a favorite fashion collection. Like what? Least favorite collection. That again, there's so many terrible collections. I could talk about that forever. I forgot. I didn't even talk about like some of my favorite Angelina Misa collection. So my favorite Angelina Misa collection of all time is the Marine one. The one that was inspired by, I don't know what exact collection it is, I'll have to go check, but it was inspired by the docks in Belgium and like Marines in Belgium and stuff like that. Yo, that collection. If I tell you how many designers have copied that collection, jeez. Let's see what the there are cool girls, but they follow trends too much, Yeah, facts. What do you think of Philip Plain? That's a meme. Karen Ellison, one of McQueen's muses, joined High Fashion Talk. She's on Voss. Yo, Yolo, you're a celeb now. I don't even know why you're on this live stream. You're too famous for me, bro. Yes, McQueen is amazing. Did you go to school for fashion? No. I did not go to school in any capacity for fashion. I'm just so into fashion that I'll just like read up too much. You said because you're educated. Maybe, yeah, maybe. That's why I have so many favorite collections, because I know so many. I guess you can say that. Did you say stuff in a northerner accent? Maybe, man. I've been in Leeds for too long. 5 years from now, I'll have a Leeds accent. I won't even sound like I'm from London. Thoughts on Ronnie Fi Kith A6 Gel Keanu? There's nothing really to it. I've noticed that like the A6 Keanu is like what every collab is being done on now. I don't know why. The only one who has been given like many silhouettes is Kiko. He said to understand Hypebeast, you need to watch Elaine de Botton's Status Anxiety on YouTube. It's a long documentary, but worth it. Okay, yo, let me check this up right now, and I'll add it to my favorites, so I remember to watch it later. Seems like a good watch. I don't mind if it's like an hour long. If it's a good watch, then I'll watch it. Status Anxiety. Okay, so this is like 2 hours long. Alright, yeah, I have to watch this at some point later. Yo, was it good?
No, you still live?
Yeah.
No, is it bright enough to shoot this thing, or should I do it tomorrow?
Probably do it tomorrow. It's getting a bit dark.
What time do you think we get back? Before 6?
What, from London? It depends. What time we going to London tomorrow?
I won't go early.
We're saying going to London like it's some faraway land, but but we're going into London, like central. But yeah, what?
Because my thingy from the one, I wanted to just get there before it's hot. 2,
So do you want to get to London first thing in the morning?
Yeah.
And we'll get into like most stores like while people are at school and stuff. So we'll have like.
Still on. I don't really understand.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It's because you finish A levels. That's why. School finishes late July.
My school finishes early anyway. My school's done.
That's interesting. Yeah, let's go to London.
So I'm trying to get.
Where do you want to go first? Are we going to go central?
Yeah, because the golf thing, my slot is at 9:30.
Yeah, my slot's at 10.
Yeah,
so we're going to go to. We can go to Selfridges.
So we'll go to Selfridges
for the golf thing, and then we can do what we need to do. Anyway. Then we can go DSM.
No, Browns.
Yeah, Browns. Like, we still need to stay central because we need to do it efficiently. So we're going to go Browns.
Browns is opposite Selfridges.
Yeah. Then we're going to go...
Probably...
Machine A is a walking distance. It's still, like, central.
Yeah.
So we can go Machine A.
Then probably DSM.
Yeah.
Walk past Palace and Supreme.
We might have to do a run in Shoreditch, like Brick Lane.
Yeah, my
vintage
friend's
stores
thing
and stuff like
is
that.
Close to Shoreditch.
Alright, calm.
And he said roll through around 1.
Oof, tomorrow's going to be a long day, bro.
I don't think so. I think we can be done by 5.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Wait, let me go through these live stream questions. Yeah. So someone's talking about, will you do a review on Dior Spring Summer 2020? Yeah, for sure. What's your opinion on Michele's Gucci? I think it's beautiful, but there's no progress about his designs. That's really good. I do think that Alessandro revived Gucci though. Because who was at Gucci before Alessandro? I think it was Frida Giannini, and I think she got fired because she was doing so terribly. So, because what happened, I think Tom Ford was at Gucci, and that was when Gucci was totally different. Like, Gucci then was about more focused on the tailoring. That was like Tom Ford's Gucci, and it was really sick. And because the hype from Tom Ford Gucci was so high, when Frida went there, there was just no way she was going to top that. So I feel that's why she didn't do too well. And then Alessandro, I think, revived it with his overt, like, maximalism and stuff like that. However, I don't think there's been any progression, but I do like it. Like, it is what it is. Maximalism at its finest. What do you say? They always get collabs on the same silhouette to hype that silhouette one at a time, and then they can get a cheaper big order of that shoe because bulk order. Yeah, facts.
Who's this?
YOLO.
No, who does that?
So A6, because they've had a lot of collabs on the same silhouette, the Keanu. So they had the Awake collab, and they've had a lot of other collabs on that same specific silhouette. So it's like, what are they trying to? They're trying to do a Nike. You know when Nike will have a collab with like A Cold War on the Vomeros, and then they'll just bring back the Vomeros after.
So
yeah.
I hate Nike for doing that.
Oh my god. I love the new Gucci stuff, but too overpriced. Yeah, facts. What do you think about Zara alternative to high fashion pieces? Are they worth for the price point? I just don't like cheaper alternatives to anything, because as someone that likes fashion, there's like there's like research and other things that goes into making collections, and I feel like it's so it's just it's just everything, it goes against everything I believe in to like have a brand just literally. Imagine I work on a design for a year and then some brand copies my design and sells it for less. Like, what? So I don't like any cheap alternative to anything. Thoughts on the A Cold Converse? I really like it. They look like hiking boots. I don't know when they're gonna release though, but right now, funds aren't high, so it's not sure. I'm not sure I'll be copying them. What do you think of Alexander Wang? Do you think he's overrated? His old stuff was good, but now it's just like terrible. I don't get why Frida was fired, but Maria is still at Dior. I think Maria's at Dior because Maria had some really good collections at Dior in the past, and I think they're just hoping that she can come back into herself and like release collections like that again. I think that's what's going on. Your opinion on Helliot and Mill? Helliot Mill is low-key overrated. It's like influencer chic. Like, they make really good stuff, but it's like overly conceptualized. It's going to be like December or Jan. Okay, alright, that's a while from now. Yeah, I'll probably be able to cop then. I'll be able to cop. Yeah, I'm going to have to make food, man. I'm going to come off this live stream pretty soon. Got work to do. What do you say? Student loan thing? No, not even. That's jokes. That is jokes. Opinion on Stella leaving Kering? I don't know, man. Yeah, I know everyone's been talking about like Stella joining LVMH. I don't really have an opinion because I haven't looked into it, so I don't know like the reasoning behind it. It's cool how classic designs like the bar jacket from Christian Dior has made an influence on menswear as well. Yeah, facts. What are your thoughts on archive clothing? I like it, but like archive clothing as a movement is just a bit of a joke. Like, I don't see why it has to be a movement. Like, if you like a past collection and you're looking for pieces from that collection because you like it so much, that's cool. Why is there a whole like culture of like archive boys and like, I don't know, man. It's just really pretentious to me. You got to do more live streams. I love this. Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry, man. It's because I've been really busy, and even right now, I'm going to be more busy till, like, the end of August. So I won't really be doing that many live streams. But yeah, I'll try to when I can. It's because I know, like, when I live stream, how long have I been live streaming for? Like, almost, like, 3-4 hours. It's because I know when I live stream, I'm going to have to sit down forever. So, yeah, that's the thing. Archive is popular now that Gosha is gone. That's jokes. A low-key brand right now is definitely Bodhi. Is Bodhi low-key though? After they won that prize, they've kind of gotten a bit big, like a bit mainstream. Cristobal Balenciaga was also a master tailor. Facts. Have you heard of Amondi? Any thoughts on it? Yeah, Rachel Amondi. I haven't really. I know who she is. Like, I listen to her podcast. However, I haven't looked into her own clothing. So I can't really give an opinion on like Rachel right now. But I know who she is. She's like a Kenyan designer, I think, based in New York. Yeah, I know who she is. I listen to her podcast. But yeah, what's the time? Yo, I've been live streaming for like 4 hours, so I'm gonna have to go, man. But shouts out to everyone that joined the pot. He said great pot. No, sorry. Shout out to everyone that joined the live stream. Sorry. And yeah, I'll be out, man. I'm hungry. I need to make food.